Good evening, members of Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters here on YouTube. Those who follow my Spiritual Cryptid Encounter group on Facebook, and those who follow HCS Short Reels TikToks. How's everybody doing this morning? As for me, I'm doing well. How about you, cousin Jesse? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, cousin. I would like to welcome all the members of the Spiritual and Cryptid Encounter community.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard that the video the show reel that I put out there. That I put
I
it.
saw
I
it.
created a show reel today, and I made it as loud as I could, so you could hear what they're saying. And it sounds like there was a lot of them chanting something, or like saying something like
Hello, Mayhem. Hello, Vash. Welcome to the
like
show.
there's a lot of them, like there's a lot of them saying something.
I
And
heard.
it's
I heard. I heard the laugh. That's what I heard. I heard them laughing.
but then they were saying something. The I think the laugh happened first, and then somebody said something very loud, but it was like a lot of them that I debunked. I caught a couple of images as to debunk the video, but really nothing big because the ultraviolet, the sun was being covered by the clouds, so they could camouflage real good that I couldn't. I mean, I could sense them, but I couldn't see them. I might have caught a couple of images there. That's about it. Just I haven't focused on the images. How you doing, Vash? Mayhem the truth. So some of the people that viewed the video, they were saying that they heard something. A couple of people, the comments that I've seen on YouTube. I mean, normally I will have earplugs, but with this one I can have earplugs, or else I'll be able to try to debunk what they're saying. But sometimes we can look too much into that because they're tricksters, so they can say just about anything. But I know that they're around me because my senses were getting triggered. My equipment was going crazy.
Yeah, I saw that in that video, man. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, it always happens that way. This why this is tonight we're calling disembodied voices and spirits that trigger your spiritual senses. That's what the name of the show is tonight. In which it's like for those that like me, I want I'm gonna do a little podcast with my cousin, and I've been doing podcasts for different shows, but at the same time, you can see where I do the videos when I go and investigate. So I just don't uh, share my stories. I try to get the evidence also of the things that I capture out there. If you pay attention to the short reels that I have here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, whether it's here on YouTube, on Facebook, or on TikTok, you'll be able to see the evidence that I capture, whether it's something disembodied moving, or disembodied voices. I always capture that, man. The shapeshifter skinwalkers, they're devious for that. They can mimic a wind chime. They can mimic a doorbell. They can mimic, like, I know you remember, cousin, when I heard my alarm going off on my vehicle. That went off, and I told you I think somebody's by my vehicle. Let me go check it out. That's when I started walking out of there. But I'm thinking they mimic the sound because they triggered probably my car alarm before. When I locked it up, they triggered the same sound, like when you lock the vehicle. So they triggered, they mimicked. I mean, should I say they mimicked that sound? So they can be very very conniving. I know sometimes I try to share it to all the platforms that I could. Uh,
Damn light.
yeah, that light is going crazy, man. It's like,
I'm gonna dance some disco while it's going on.
yeah, it's just I think next time that I do go out, it'll be when the sun is out. The reason I like going out when the sun is out is because the ultraviolet rays of the sun breaks the cloak of the DDN. It breaks the cloak that I'm able to see them. Well, I'm able to capture them better instead of when it's cloudy. But when it's cloudy or raining, they still surface up, which, as in Disembodied voices, you could hear them stronger. I guess because of the weather. It's got energy, so they surface up in that nature.
Welcome, Devorah. Welcome,
How
Real
you doing,
MMA.
real
Welcome,
MMA
Benny Felix.
brother Benny? How you doing? So, yeah, I created a show reel of the incident that happened when I was out there investigating. My most current video when I was investigating. Uh, Sister Dolores like the shirt, primo polo shirt.
Yes, sir. I've been watching the past shows, man, and I started getting embarrassed because I'm always in a muscle shirt, man. So I thought I started wearing shirts.
What's wrong with the muscle shirt? No, I'm just playing.
Well,
I'm
you
just,
have
I'm just
guns.
comfortable.
I
I'm just
don't.
comfortable tonight. I just feel comfortable tonight. And I said, you know what? You know, I took me a nice hot shower today because yesterday when I came out investigating in the woods, I did not do that. So I cleansed my body today because I've been having like some crazy dreams after going to the woods. When you brush against those things in that nature, they're around you, it can affect you. So that's why
You,
it took me a nice warm shower and did a little bit of praying. So there won't be no negative attachments on me from that area.
you heard a demonic scream on that video, Devorah? Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I told you. That there was a scream. Uh, I didn't have my headphones uh, to get close. I made what I did is I downloaded the video and I took it to a video creator, which I made the sound louder so you can be able to hear. Because I can hear. I mean, I heard it when I was there, but then in order for y'all to hear it, I had to make it sound louder so y'all can hear. It's like I heard some shrieks, some noises at first, like giggles or something. But then I hear a like Sister Deborah says a scream, a demonic scream.
Welcome,
But it
Annette.
was
Welcome,
it,
Abdul.
it
Welcome,
sounded like they
Exuberance.
were sharing somebody, but it was a lot of voices all at once. Like something like that in that nature. I just don't know. I haven't. I still need to look more in depth in the video. I will have to probably get into my old phone just to be able to debunk it even more. It sounded like they were sharing something. They were saying something, like they were celebrating or something. Like they were fixing an attack or some crap. Like the sound that it sounded like they're ready to charge. But
Every time you go out there to investigate, makes me wish I was standing right there, shoulder to shoulder with you, man. That would
yeah,
be some
like have my
fun.
like watch behind me because
Hmm.
they always surface up. If y'all notice when I do those videos, I go do a circle around me because you don't know where they're coming from. I wish I had a device where I can have it on my head and it cover all four angles, and all come out in just in one location, all four angles, because they're that sneaky that when you're going looking forward, they're right behind you and you don't even know they're behind you.
Sup, Smurfy?
They might whisper in your ear. They might whisper in your ear and say, "Gee wee wees." No, I'm just playing.
uh,
They can whisper. They've done that to me, man. When they whisper in my ear, man.
and they say chiwiwis.
No, I'm just kidding about the movies. They'll when they whisper, they'll say "fuck you" or, they'll say, "leave." You know, or they say, they say they leave, like they don't want me in the area. That's what they say.
That would be cool, right, Deborah? We'd be saying, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Welcome, Pamela. How you
Yeah, I'm
doing?
not. I can go out there with no flashlight, no problem. Wasn't a military 10 years. I've never been afraid of the dark. Even before, I
Hello,
wasn't
Pup
afraid of the
Woogie.
dark. In the Home Depot spot parking lot. What the hell?
Well, you might look like one, but I actually did that, Smurfy. Thank you,
But
Pamela. Thank you.
hizo tamales, primo.
Uh, Primo, we always had to hustle, man. We sold tamales. One time, my dad bought a bunch of fruits and vegetables, and we were selling them out of the station wagon, door to door, man.
And people were buying them.
Yeah, and the bad thing about Primo was we'd go door to door, and it was really embarrassing because sometimes you knock on the door and somebody you knew from school would answer the door,
Oh man,
and then you go to school Monday and they were like, look, the cheap flea market kid is here. He was at my door begging for money. Pero yo me los quitaba de encima, and I'm like, yeah, man, your mom liked my chile. Because I was selling chile, tomato, and cebolla too.
it says the brujas are messing with your lights, cousin Jesse.
No, I need to replace some light bulbs. I haven't bought one yet. So don't mind my light show. It's reminding me of the disco days. But yeah,
Yeah,
man,
like the one
my
that,
dad always
yeah.
had us hustling, man.
I would what I would do when I was a kid, I would cut grass, man. That's what I would do. I would go cut the grass from all the veterans, like veterano, World War I, World War II veterans.
Hi,
You know,
Ivy.
they always paid me pretty good, man. A pretty good penny. I was surprised. They would give me. And I would do a lot of work for them. They'll tell me what they want me to do, whether it's cut the grass, trim branches on the trees, rake up leaves. I would do everything.
Just wearing a shirt. Prima Ivy. Just wearing a shirt.
How you doing, Sister Ivy? He said, "What's a special occasion?" That's what she said. Ivy Ramirez. He's getting ready for the cyber date.
Uh-oh. You being called out to identify yourself, Primo.
So I did identify myself to the. I told them to identify themselves. Sometimes when you do that, they do identify themselves. Surprisingly, they'll say something to you,
How you doing,
or
Steven?
it's just
Welcome.
I didn't get to the point of addressing them like, what's your name or anything like that. But
All
because
right, Rich, don't start.
I don't want to give them any kind of power. So that's why I said what I said is to identify themselves. They had already identified themselves when they did what they did. So I placed it there so y'all can see that I was by myself, and they show up like that sometimes. You should be there when they surface up and they're cussing at me or they're talking a different language. Now that's creepy. And then not just that, but when they surface up, there's disembodied voices. When they surface up and you hear them talking a different language, telling you to get out and all this stuff, plus growling sounds and a movement in the woods. You know,
Thank you, Ivy. Thank you. You see what
Tech.
Rich Brennan just told me, man? What he just said? Hello, my spiritual encrypted date making love match making fellas. Stay alto, man.
How are you feeling, Bash? What's the matter with Bash? You was feeling sick yesterday? But yeah, that's what the topic is tonight, brothers and sisters. Disembodied voices, spirits that trigger your spiritual senses. And every time I go and investigate, my senses get triggered out there. As you can see, I put the evidence of what I caught on the video, and that's what I haven't debunked the whole video. I just went to that part that I remember when I heard the laugh. I think somebody had said that they seen something in the path when I was coming out. I just didn't know where. I just need to debunk it better next time. Or you're in a. Sorry to hear that. Telling you that the this disembodied presence of the Skinwalker shapeshifters and DDN are pretty hot and heavy here in Central Texas. No difference in the Rio Grande Valley, but it's pretty hot. The places I go to, you could literally hear them. Like the showreel I created today, you could literally hear it screaming.
Oh, this light is driving me crazy, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna think I'm being possessed. You hear what? Did you read what Ridge Runner put on there, man? He
Yeah.
says since Abe is a matchmaker, we should call him Pimp Daddy. Telling you, cousin. Telling you, man.
You gotta go to the doctor, man, so they can give you some muscle relaxers and stuff. That whiplash ain't no joke.
No, no.
And you know what? That's how I feel sometimes when I come out of investigating in the woods. Like I've been in a car accident because I get sometimes it try to overwhelm me spiritually out there when I'm investigating.
Wow.
We got 19 viewers here. How's everybody doing this evening? Tonight's topic is disembodied voices and spirits that trigger spiritual senses. And I've been through. I've gotten so good spiritually that I can track anything down, man. It doesn't matter what location it is. If it's something that's of spirit, it's either I track it down or it tracks me down. One of the two. Because I use my spiritual senses to go to where the location, or should I say, to maybe where it's lurking around in that territory. I'm able to track them down spiritually. And if I get close enough, they'll get pissed off and they'll say something or interrupt my video.
Well, that was messed up though, cousin. As soon as you walked up onto the property over there, man, they were already just standing there waiting for you to come.
Yeah, it's pretty hot and heavy there in that area. I mean,
Your
all
your
of Central
signal
Texas is
cut
like
off
that.
quick.
Was it?
Your signal cut off quick as soon as you got on the property. Your signal
Yeah,
cut off. It's like they were
yeah,
just saying, "Ya te miramos."
yeah. Uh, my signal gets interfered. That's when they surface up even more. When I lose signal and nobody's viewing, that's when they surface up and start causing all kinds of activity. I believe on the path I was hearing some footsteps. I just played it off like it was a lizard. But right off the bat, when my signal got interrupted, you could hear movement in the woods. But I would look and I couldn't see nothing. Sending prayers to your friend or running for him to be healed.
Amen. May the Lord heal him with His mighty hand.
Yeah. You seen the tarp? It was stuck in the ground. I mean, uh, the rod was stuck in the ground, and there was two rocks you know, it was just stuck in the ground, and it's like, to me, when I got near the rod, it's like it interfered my connection, like something was telling me not to go further, like a marker, because he had rocks. But then I looked at the tarp on the ground. I said, well, maybe they had the tarp on the rod, like a cover.
Yeah,
But
that could have been, but
it broke my signal, so I went around the tree, and then I got my signal back, and I was looking at the rod from a different direction. But as I kept on going forward, my signal got interrupted even more. So that was telling me something ain't right. And that's when the alarm of the car went off, like somebody was by my vehicle. That's like a long distance there. That's like almost, man, from where I was standing to the location of the vehicle. That's like almost 200 yards, or more than 200 yards. And
they doing head
that's when
trip.
I said I need to get out of here. But the things that y'all didn't hear, that I haven't been able to debunk yet, is the laughs of the what seemed to be hyenas. It seemed to be like hyenas laughing when I entered the path. And as I came around the first bend, I could hear them laughing. You know, that's what y'all didn't hear. But now I know that it was in hyenas, that it was disembodied voices of whatever is in that area. So what do you think about that, cousin? You viewed the tape. I mean,
Yeah,
do you watch the video, right?
yeah. I watched the video earlier today, and like I said, I heard when you said identify yourself. I heard a laugh, and then you pan the camera around, and you could hear like voices, but barely, man. I could barely pick them up.
Yeah, they were right there around me, man.
But when you were doing the video, man, I could tell that you were surrounded. I could feel it. There was a like at least 8 or 9 of them around you, man. I could feel it.
Well, there was a lot of things around me. That's for sure. There was a lot of activity. You know, the further I got, because I have to go downhill. I was going downhill. Then, where the route was and the tarp, that's downhill. Then I have to go uphill. So when I was going uphill, it's when I was hearing noises behind me. You know, so it's,
Hi,
it's
Madeline.
kind of creepy. So I just kept on looking, put the camera my way to cover my back, to make sure nothing tried to sneak up from behind. But I could sense that there was a presence of something there in the
Ah,
woods.
como foi?
A possible shapeshifter, skinwalker, or DDN. You know, they all have the same capabilities. But I know for a fact that somebody's staying there because of the rod and the rocks and the tarp that was there. Then when I went further down, I found what seemed to be like a one of those patio umbrellas, but it was all messed up. So I don't know.
Might have got tore up.
I didn't go further down to see what was out there. I mean, why would put somebody put like a metal rod like that on the ground,
Right?
if because it can attract lightning? If you got a
And it
stick like
was
that,
and it was cloudy, and it did sound like it was gonna rain.
yeah.
The damn lightning rod.
So I could have gotten close. I got a picture that I haven't placed where the camera kind of got messed up, but you could see that rod that's on the ground. You could see it in the sky. I
Wow.
just haven't put the picture up yet. And I said to myself, well, maybe it just crisscrossed with each other. to make it look like it's cut in the sky, but you could see the rod in the sky, but the picture the picture looks crazy, man. We're always getting interference, but whatever was there in that area. How you doing, Sister Madeline? Yeah, it's like I would take people, man, but I'm just letting you know that when you go there, you come out of that area or the areas that I go investigate, man. Sometimes it takes zap some energy off of you because that's what you go into areas where there possibly could be time portals or areas where there's no time. So all that can affect you. Either you're gonna lose time, which I've lost time before, or sometimes time will move forward. But it's more of losing time when you go into those areas. So when you come out of there, you feel like exhausted. You know, um, it takes you a couple of days just to recuperate from going and doing the investigation. Chat is loaded with familiar people tonight. How's everybody doing? Tonight's we're talking about disembodied voices and spirits that trigger your spiritual senses. Uh,
Welcome one and all. Welcome one and all to the chat.
some of the things that the what are the symptoms you get when your spiritual senses get triggered? In my
Your
case, in
your
my
hair
case,
stands up.
yeah, because there's a magnetic energy that is unclean spirits or demonic spirits bring, in which I believe some of the things that come with that is fear. That it has fear with it, so it triggers your senses. That your hair stand up, uh, your equipment that you have my fault or my fail. Like you might lose a signal, or your battery might get drained. That's what they do.
Hi, Naviera Angel. No, I
But
have not talked to her yet.
so yes, that's your senses get triggered. Uh, that you could feel, you could sense where the energies are around you, because you have your bubble of protection, but you can see where they're around you or they're behind you. And so you just turn the camera around to wherever you're sensing there's something around you. And sometimes it can be right upon you, in which you have to go into prayer if you feel heaviness on your shoulders or something on your neck area. It's because it's trying to attach itself to you. So you have to fight spiritually and say, "Type boundary between Jesus Christ's name. Get off of me. Leave me alone. You're not welcomed." You got to make your spiritual stance also. But as you can have two choices. You can back out from the area, or you can keep on going forward. If you keep on going forward, well, it's even going to get hot, a lot heavier, because it's like they're waiting for you to enter that area. The difference between a Skinwalker versus a DDN. Basically, kind of like the my senses are the same to either one. Uh, the difference between the Skinwalker and the DDN it just warns me, because they're both evil. So I get kind of like the same reaction to both of them, or to anything that's not like demonic or dealing with witchcraft or necromancy. It just, my senses get triggered right off the bat, letting me know there's something around me. Uh, but the skill, the DDN, that sucker will make contact with you. You can hear footsteps running behind you. Next thing you know, you get hit in the back. You fly 4 or 5 feet in the air. A DDN is territorial. I mean, I'm not saying that a Skinwalker shapeshifter doesn't have the capability, but and you might never know. They might have been taking turns tag teaming on me. Hitting me. So I think believe both have the same capabilities. It's just DDN is way stronger than the Skinwalker shapeshifter because they're the ones that taught him the witchcraft and necromancy. What do you think, cousin?
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. The DDN has been around longer than the Skinwalkers, man. So they have more knowledge, and they, like you said, they probably taught the Skinwalker everything they know. Man,
Uh,
I'm gonna have to change location. This is driving me crazy, man.
all right, you can always come back, cousin.
No, no, I'm just gonna walk. I'm probably just gonna sit on my bed and do the show from there because this light is driving me crazy, man. People are gonna think I'm possessed or there's a spirit in here or something, man. So bear with me while I.
What we got here? The Gideon stands for disembodied demonic Nephilim.
All right, people, welcome to my inner sanctum.
Go ahead, Primo. Share a story with them of the topic disembodied voices and spirits that trigger your spiritual senses. Have you experienced something like that? I mean,
Yeah,
uh,
it's a Mississippi story, cousin. When the second time I went to Mississippi, they uh they gave us a trailer house that supposedly was one of the best trailer houses they had, and yeah, that's it said Dominguero de Bora, and I was working day shift. One night I came home and went to sleep. Well, when we got that trailer house, as soon as I walked in, I felt there was a presence in there, cousin. You couldn't see it, but I knew where it was. It was in the first bedroom of the trailer house. When you walked into the door to the right, there was the first bedroom, and I could feel a presence in there. Well, then one night, like I said, I was sleeping, and I heard a voice in my ear telling me that I was gonna die, and then I heard a loud snap, and I opened my eyes, and I automatically knew where it was. I looked up, and it was a dark shadow figure that was running out of my room and into the kitchen. And all my hair stood up. Uh, I didn't bother getting up to chase it. I just turned around and went back to sleep. But yeah, that it was a disembodied voice, man, that woke me up out of a deep sleep.
what did the voice tell you, cousin?
That I was gonna die. He whispered in my ear that I was gonna die, and then there was a loud snap that I heard, and I opened my eyes and I saw the dark shadow figure running from my bedroom down the hallway to toward the front bedroom. Yes, runner one, and that was like really weird, man, because uh, I got a little traumatized after that. I started being more careful since it told me I was gonna die.
I just won a jackpot.
Congratulations, man.
All
See, that
right.
story I told, it gave you luck, man.
Yeah, I got it there.
Morgan Le
Yes,
Fay.
yes, 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 yes. I got it.
Welcome, Ancient Kings.
Oh shit! Instead of the other one switching to go out too.
Uh-oh.
I just put it on standby here. Go ahead, cousin. I enjoy the when you talk about
Yes,
the
yes, the
Mississippi.
word,
You should
it,
tell them
it,
the how the Mississippi area looks like? I know there's got big pine trees and stuff like that, right?
Well, the place where it happened, it was right across the street from right across the highway from the gym where I worked, and it was a trailer park community, man. There was nothing but trailer parks, and only the people that worked at the gym lived there, cousin. I did try to adopt what I thought was a dog, but it turned out to be a skinwalker. I
Dang.
used to I used to feed that thing, man. I used to feed that thing, man, and it had a one eye that was like cloudy, so I thought it was blind. But yeah, it was an
So you seen it
adventure, cousin,
in the form of a dog,
in the
and you
form
were
of a
feeding it.
dog, man. Yeah, I would feed it. When I
It would
would
be in
leave
the
in the mornings, man, I would leave leftovers outside in a bowl, and it would eat it.
what?
Yeah,
So what kind of being was it? I mean, was it a dog?
it was a dog. It looked like a like half coyote, half German Shepherd, something like that. But
It was a
It showed up around my trailer house out of nowhere, and everybody in the neighborhood, in the trailer park community, was scared of it, man. Not me, man. I'm the dumbass that was feeding that thing. You could say I was trying to tame it,
it was
and
how
yeah,
big
man.
was it? How big
Every
was it?
time it was about waist high, so maybe three or
But
four.
lengthwise, you couldn't
Lengthwise,
see
it
it.
was long, man. It was from head to toe. I'm thinking it stood maybe 4 4 feet long, maybe longer, from tip of the nose to tip of the tail. But it did when it did come around me, man, it did trigger me. I got
Your
the hair
senses got
standing on
triggered.
end, uh, a little bit of fear because it was growling and whatnot.
What was
So
growling at you?
yeah, it was growling at me. So what I did, went in the trailer, came back out, and threw some church's chicken at it.
It
So
started eating.
yeah, I started giving the church's chicken and started giving it pizza and whatnot, man, and it quit
Yeah, I've heard
growling at me.
those stories, Sister Madeline. I've seen some videos. I don't know. I just don't know if the videos are real or not. But where there's it's a cat and no, he tells the guy tells the dog or the cat something, and he tells him to lay on his back, and the dog lays on his back, and then it's like, you ain't my dog. My dog
Yeah,
never listened to
I seen that video. My dog don't know no tricks.
I think yeah. See, trying to kill it with a heart attack.
No, Smurfy, it did not show me its lipstick because I was never petting that dog, man. I would just feed it. Yeah, it had to be the chicken. It could have been a pot pie sandwich, but it was just church's chicken.
And it was tearing it up.
Oh yeah, it
Did
would
you
eat
ever
it,
pet
man.
the dog?
No, I never petted the dog, man. It gave me the creeps, man.
So the fur, how did the fur look?
It was kind of like it had the markings of a German Shepherd, but it had a reddish tint to it. Kind of like a rust color.
Shit, it could have been a freaking Skinwalker or DDN, man. We
Like
had
I
red
said,
in it. And uh, did it ever disappear or anything like that that you
well,
noticed?
it
Anything weird that he did?
it, it would only show up when I got home from work. Because I got off at 7 in the afternoon, man. I worked from 7 to 7, and it would only show up in the afternoon. The lady that lives next door that would make lunch for everybody, she said she would never see it around the yard during the day, but it would always
Only at
show
night?
up around that time.
Oh man, so that had to be something around that where it was coming from.
Yeah. Well, there was a labores,
Okay.
primo. Había labores de algodón all around the trailer park.
So yeah, what he's saying, there was fields of cotton all the way around the trailer park where they're housed at, because they were working in the cotton fields. So it was coming out of the cotton fields.
Madden, one eye was kind of brownish, but it had a cloud in on the left eye. It had a cloud, so I thought it was blind, but it could have been something else, man.
Maybe it was just it's eyes to see during the night, like a night predator.
Smurfy.
Does that happen?
The
Uh,
Smurfy said to toss him some pot pies.
Throw him a can of spinach.
¿Quiere puro pollo? Yeah, no, man, that was weird. Because and then the fact that siempre there was a lechuza on the tree right in front of my trailer house, man. It would
What
show up.
color was the lechuza?
Man, I
For
wouldn't
those
go
that don't
outside,
know what
man.
lechuzas are, he's talking about harpies.
I wouldn't go outside, man. I could hear it when it would land in the tree, and then all night it was just making noises, man.
Like what kind of noises?
You know what noises? The ones that I'm not gonna make, man. No, cousin, don't get me doing that, man. We're already into the witching hour.
They
That that
they
and the
scratch their
whistle.
talons. They make a where they go.
That and the whistle. Oh, there you go.
They make the whistle like a sonar whistle, but it's like a screech, and they be looking like that because they're up like 150 feet, 200 feet in the sky. If they hear somebody whistle back, they circle around, right?
You heard it,
And
right,
then
Murphy? The forbidden sound.
yeah, let me do the sign of the cross. So we have no activity. But it's too late.
Too
It's
late.
already
You
dead.
already did it. But yeah,
But
cousin.
last time that I did that, everybody was having or hearing all kinds of stuff inside their homes. But
Hey,
I
what's
can
on,
mimic the
carnal? Look, man.
was it?
My brother Mario's here.
Oh, hey, what's up? What's up, Primo Mario? How you doing, cuz? ¿Cómo estás, primo? Hope you're doing good.
Yes, it's always raspy, Navia's angel.
Puro DLF.
Yeah, the half
That's
of the
my
deal
cousin,
left is in here.
cousin Mario. Yeah, so the Luchisa, it was standing on the tree by the trailer
Right in
when you
front.
go to sleep.
And I didn't have curtains, cousin. You know what I did to cover that window? I put a bunch of Coca-Cola boxes together with tape to cover the window, man.
Yeah, Primo Mario said, doing all right because burning the midnight oil.
Well, burn all that oil, carnal. Burn it all. That's what me and Primo Abe do every night. We burn that oil. But yeah, man, I got a bunch of cases of Coca-Cola and taped them together with some Gorilla Tape, and then I put it in front in the window so that you couldn't see inside
So,
the trailer house,
so
man.
where the lechuza would the tree, was it a big tree?
Yeah, it was a big tree. It was right by the front window of my bedroom
So you
because I
couldn't
slept in.
see where it was on the tree.
No, but I knew more or less where it was because you know that sound detect thing I do with my ears, man. I could tell where it was. It was looking right in the window. Yeah, once you hear it, you can't unhear it, Navia.
Cousin Mario knows about the lechuzas. He used to see them all the time too over there in the valle
Well, he's
because he
telling
lived
right
out in
now
the
that
range.
he's saying right now that he remembers when they used to follow Uncle Lionel around everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Uncle Lionel, he would mess with the lechuzas and the pelicans when he would go fishing with a fishing rod. But yeah, they would follow him around all the time. He was dabbling in the dark arts.
Thank you, Navia.
Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, Mario, since you're talking about the Lionel was with us a couple of times when the Lechuzas will show up over there. He was working with us up in Lubbock, Texas. He would go out there for the summer with us. So there was times when they would show up when he was there at the house. The Lechuzas. Exuberance says there's one that live from the giant tree. And I grew up around all those noises, man. I can mimic them. You know, if you hear that noise, do not whistle back.
Do
If
not
you hear
answer
that
back.
noise that I made, don't whistle back because you do. So someone will be tapping on your window. You're gonna hear somebody wiggling on your door, or something might come inside your house because that's like if you're inviting it.
Yeah, it was probably one of the women that he messed with
How
that
do you know the
sent
difference
that
between a regular
witch
owl and a
after him.
lechuza? Well, the regular owl it just makes like a hoot sound. A regular owl is just like makes a hoot sound. Lechuza and a regular owl. I've seen the barn owls and all that. They're like some are maybe 3.5 feet, 4.5 feet. The tallest that the girl, got a good little wingspan. The the lechuza, especially the dark one, they're huge because you can see how big they are in the sky. And if you were to see them that were landing on the ground in front of you, they would at least have to be like 6 foot tall, like because they look tall in the air.
Here,
And
trick.
that's it. There.
A lechuza is a witch that can transform into a bird. An owl, it more looks like an owl, but it's not. It's taller than an owl, and it makes different sounds than an owl. That's what a lechuza is, man.
Midnight black and sometimes red eyes. And then you got some that are white also. The white lechuzas are white, but those are supposed to be white witches, and they're
Yeah.
pretty big too. They grow pretty big. I say I've seen one outside my home here when I was making a video talking about lechuzas, and I had made that sound. There was a white witch behind the tree, standing on the ground, looking at me like this, and the way she was looking at me, just like a woman would stare at me, like. Then she flew away over the fence. She was at least of what I seen when I go measure the tree, at least like 5 foot to 5.5 feet tall. It was a white one, and she was just
Careful
looking at
what you
me.
wish for, Smurfy.
That one day, if I ever encounter one, I'll take a picture of her. If I encounter one, so y'all can see what we're talking about. They're not regular owls. They're massive. Let me see some of the comments. Trying to get to all the comments here. Thank you, Jesse. We have here in Ozarks. We thought there were site banshees. Well, the banshees do have a sound that they make, like a yell, kind of like a sonar. Also, when they make the yell towards you, is just to see if your senses get disrupted by the yell, so they can most likely try to attack. I had a video where I went out to the woods and I ran into a banshee. I could see some movement, and then she made the yelling sound like a banshee. And I was looking, but she went towards the woods, and I said, okay, it's time for me to get out of here. If something's telling me I'm not welcome in this area, it's the same area where I go investigate. I will have to download the video. I have the video. I would just have to go to that part when they made the banshee yell. Yeah, they make a loud sound that it freaking echoes. Like when you think about banshee, you think of the comic book character. What was his name? Banshee. That it makes a yell and it's got like a sonar sound. Well, that's what it does. Yeah, that's a true story right there. That bruja. She didn't. Luckily, she didn't manifest into a lechuza. Or it would have been a battle inside the little bedroom.
Yep, yep.
I just heard the door. Somebody wiggle the door.
Will Murphy said he made the sound too, that he's hoping it comes faster than UPS. Than Amazon Prime, I mean. I told him, careful what you wish for.
Yeah, I don't know why she was mad. I think maybe she was mad because I didn't fall into the temptation of the beautiful woman. And then she told me true form that it was just an old witch trying to sucker me in for a good time, maybe. I don't know. And she was
She was
pissed.
trying to get some. She was trying to get some young strange man.
She was trying to get some chochon, and I wasn't having it. I was too drunk. That wasn't, my intentions. I was a a good kid. I had good intentions. I always treated people with respect, even brujas that I didn't even know there were brujas. They would get mad because I didn't fall into the temptation. That's why she had the glass trying to. I'm glad I woke up. That's all I can say because only God knows what would have happened if I wouldn't have woke up.
You would have wound up as a buffet.
That's a hell no for me. LOL. Well, since we're talking about this, how many women a cousin has the devil deceived at dances and the
Well, there's a
lightness?
lot of stories, man, about
Tell them some of
the,
those
the,
stories.
about
You see what
a real good looking guy coming in, and
he
the
says. If
next
any of you
thing,
guys want more information on the Brujas of Lechuzas, Google most haunted city in Mexico, and they will open the Pandora's box for all of you. There you go.
I ain't trying to open
I
no
know, I
Pandora's
know,
box.
I know. Luis is my tío. His dad would tell us stories of things that he. I'm not sure a story that I remember that he told us one time of what he encountered. But go ahead, cousin.
I forgot where I was at, man. Uh,
It was about dance.
oh yeah, there's plenty of stories, man, that I've heard about these teenage Mexican girls. They went against what their mom told them and went to a dance. The next thing you know, a real handsome guy showed up, dressed to the T's, and took them out to dance. And then all the people look and they see her dancing with a guy with a chicken foot and a hoof, and it was Satan. So yeah,
And what
there's
happened
plenty
to
of
the girl?
stories like that. Well, stories vary. Some say that they wake up and they're possessed, and some that go crazy. So it depends on who tells the story. But the fact that the story's out there in many different Mexican cities, man, and so it varies by who's telling the story.
Yeah, I remember the story of Tio Luis, which is Mario's dad. He said it. Probably Mario could say it better. But I remember that he said he had gone on a dance, and
Okay, Medley.
he you know his dad had told him not to be doing certain things, and he just went out to the dance, didn't snuck out, went to the dance or whatever, and when he was coming back to the ranch because he lived in a ranch, I believe that he seen a light in the middle of the road, and that is I think it was a dark shadow that was coming towards them, or a black dog, and that it just scared the hell out of him. And he went running back to his, ran to his house, but he had an encounter like that. Uh, he was always saying scary stories because from Mexico, things that he would see. But there was one that I remember, and when he was saying it, you could know it was true because you could feel that he was being truthful about it. It happened when he was I think a teenager. He ran into something out there that would always tell us, "Don't you better listen to your parents because not the what happened to me when I was a kid might happen to you."
You got a 40 Smith and Wesson wrist runner? Shit, dude, you can't compare with me. I got a slingshot.
My friends and some mom snuck pit at night at Riley. All the night they were dancing with a handsome man. When the last time came out, Tia looked down. He had hooves for feet. They all ran. Oh man! So he was good at doing the wapangos.
Yeah, I bet
Yeah,
it had been a long time, little brother, since you heard that story. Yeah, I can't believe he
yeah.
remembered it either.
I remember. I got a good memory because I remember all the people I love, man. I never forgotten Tia Luis. He was a part of my life, man. I got a good memory, man.
Navi is creepy, really, Morgan.
Yeah, he was a he man. He when he said a story, man, you could tell it was real. Freaking, he's Mario's dad would say a story, your freaking hairs will stand up because you can sense that he was being 100% legit. Like his story was, he's saying it out of experience. When somebody can give you that vibe that your hair stand up like that, like
Yeah.
just me by thinking about it, how he would say the stories, my hairs are standing up right now. He had that because it's being truthful. Oh man, I got so many stories.
You have a sniper rifle, Navi? A 30-06?
Hey, what?
30-06?
Yeah, man, so many events that I witnessed down there in Raymondville, man, it's crazy.
You know
Uh,
what? When you drive into Raymondville, man, as soon as you past the city limit sign, it's like you lose time, man, because it's like time slows down in that city. Especially if you're coming from a bigger city, you can notice the time warp, man.
when I was growing up, I would literally see witches dressed in black at nighttime, man, walking in the streets, uh, late at night, like around 1, 2 in the morning. What am I doing out there 1 and 2 in the morning? It's when I would go get my dad from the bar. My mom would send me on a mission, me and my brother, and we was always running into this woman dressed all in black with the veils over the head, walking from the streets. I guess they're getting ready to do their worship at that time frame. So we have to go get our dad from the bar at 2 in the morning. So that's when I was running into the some of these dark witches dressed all in black.
So I did use the right terminology, little brother. A time warp. Yeah, that's what it is. When I go to Raymondville, it's like a time warp. Everything just slows the heck down, man.
There's a field. If when you get into Removille, you look to the right. There's always this field that has a funnel of air of dirt, like a dirt devil in that field.
Mm,
I believe
that's
in the field
cool.
that
Navi Angel.
in the field there's something evil there, man. Those fields that are there to the right where the Texaco is, they used to be oil pumps or rigs that were there a long time ago in the 60s. I think there's activity there, or maybe some people got thrown into those holes where the minas were, abandoned oil shaft mine shafts that go way deep. At 11 years old, I hunted the woods by myself. Uh, Jesse, I learned to shoot at 8 years old in the desert wearing a dress. What the hell?
Cool. I got my first gun when I was 13, and I learned to shoot it by shooting at people.
Y'all had a ghost horse. Cousin Mario still here?
Yeah, he's
Uh,
still here.
at the house over there in Arkansas where y'all lived, where we stayed with y'all for a little bit. Y'all had a ghost in that house, man. Uh, uh I think this. I remember the green refrigerator y'all had. I was sitting in the living room, sitting down in the living room on a couch. The refrigerator opened by itself. The freezer, it opened and closed. Then I said to myself, maybe it was just coincidental. Then the regular refrigerator opened up and it freaking closed, slammed shut. Boom. It freaked me out. You see, he's saying it was haunted.
That's why
There
they
was,
moved.
yeah. And the refrigerator literally opened up for itself. It opened up and closed, man. There was all kinds of activity there. Or Kansas have a
That's
lot of
messed up, brother.
The scariest thing I ever saw was my sister lost step out of the shower. What the hell? I think she was embodied of a banshee. The hell? It was a house on the island. Well, that one too. I'm talking about the one where we stayed with you, and then the other one, the other house was haunted too. The White House. This when Wichito was elevated in the air. That your mom was looking for him, and he was being like something was possibly a DDN, something that was invisible, had him
Welcome,
elevated
Monsoon.
on the air, taking him towards the window. And when we ran towards him, he fell down. You know, something dropped him, but something was trying to take him out of the big old window y'all had there in the house. Yeah, it was
Oh,
definitely a lot of activity there.
that's
Yeah,
just wrong, Smurfy. Almost lost my water.
just the scariest things I saw my mother-in-law in the bedroom. Through she was what below beer hanging on both sides. Oh my god.
That made Richmond say, damn.
Let me see. Morgan said head trip. You try crystals like black tourmaline. I've bought some recently and put at entrance. Yes, that'll keep negative energies away. I got a black tourmaline right here around my neck, and I got a piece of selenite. Selenite brings your guardian angels and angels to assist you spiritually. This is how a piece of raw black tourmaline will look like.
That's nice looking, man. I like that.
I got raw pieces of a lot of minerals, cuz I'm gonna have to gift you some, do a little package and send it your way, man. You know, I like wearing it on me, man. You seen when I went out there, even me wearing this, things surfaced up.
That would be the deliverance prayer, ancient kings. That I think that's what my cousin is the strongest prayer.
The deliverance prayer, that's what I use. You know, I have to say, I type on rebuke you. I'll say, identify yourself, like I did in the video, in which they do when they did the laugh and said something. There was already identifying themselves indirectly. You know, they're letting me know that they're there. So that's letting me know it's like, hey, you have some unclean spirits around you, get ready because they're identifying themselves to you. That's when I say identify yourself again. You know, I could have, but I just left it alone and, just got out of there.
Which prayer is the deliverance prayer? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Yeah, there's a lot of witches. I mean, you think about witches, you think about like curanderas, but then there's some that go astray because they start worshiping something else, right? It's kind of like what's it saying? A when you get spiritually gifted, the spiritual gift discernment, it's good, but if you're not doing it with the love foundation, those spiritual gifts or mean nothing because the the love foundation is the strongest of all the spiritual gifts. That's when you think say about brujas wearing minerals, I think of in that category that they're doing works without love because the works that they're doing are evil works to try to harm people. But when you're doing them out of love foundation, anything around you, anything you touch, anything anybody you pray for, you get good things that happen because you're doing it out of love foundation compared
Welcome,
to the
fish
works
grip.
that they do. You know, basically the spiritual gives it the door meaningless because they're not doing it out of love foundation. That's not what the worship
Yes,
or is about. Where the
you
worship
were
about is
raised
about
Catholic.
hatred, anger, and doing wicked things.
You were raised Catholic, weren't you, primo?
Yes, but I stopped going to the Catholic Church ever since Father
After
Ralph let me down.
after the pig incident, the pig's
Yeah,
whoop
you want me to
incident.
share the story about why I stopped going to the Catholic Church?
I'm pretty sure Head Trip hasn't heard it or Ancient Kings.
Probably cousin Mario hasn't heard it either. He'll be still here. Well, there was one evening I was going down. What's the name of the street that goes right by the Catholic Church, cousin?
Isn't that South?
Wasn't it Tampico?
No, I lived on
No,
Tampico.
it
That's
was
where.
South Street.
Yeah.
So I was going down South Street. It was nighttime. I was going to go visit my cousin Michael, because he worked at churches. Since we were talking about chicken earlier, so he would always bring chicken home, from work, whatever
I'll be right back.
whatever didn't sell or whatever. So I was walking down South Street, and as I was walking, I could hear movement to my left and movement to my right. So I turned around and I looked to see what the movement was. I seen a man step over the fence. The fence was probably like 6 foot, 8 foot fence. I don't know, 6 foot, 6 foot high, 7 foot. Well, I seen somebody climb over it. But what was weird about what I witnessed was the body was of a human. He was wearing pants, but the face was of a werewolf, and it was showing me its teeth and everything. You could see like there was like what do you like saliva coming out of his mouth. Then to the left, where I heard more movement, it was down the alley. I seen another one that looked like that one, but there was one that looked weird. It was real fat, and he had the face of a pig. And I was like, "Whoa!" And they were pretty big compared to what I looked at that time. Probably weighed like 100 and let's see, like 155, 160. I'm not sure how much I weighed at the time. 165 was say it, or 170. So the church was the next block over, So I went over because I seen them following me. So I ran to where at the Catholic church they have the house of the priest, where the priest stays right beside it. So I went to the house and I started banging on his door, and he finally opened the door and he told me what's going on. And I told him that something was following me, that I believe they were demonic because, I was describing how they looked. And he said, give me a moment. He put on some clothes and took me to the church, and they had a little room there by the side of the church, and he took me in the room, and he told me to sit down. The first thing he asked me is, "Are you on drugs?" I said, "No, I don't do drugs." And he said, "Have you been drinking?" I said, "No." They said, "I know you've been through a lot because of what happened in your family." So maybe I think it's just in your imagination. I said, "No, it's something is following me. So I need you to help me. I need you to help me." And he's like, he said, "I think it's just in your imagination." When he was saying this, right, the door opened behind me, and Father Ralph wore glasses. So imagine Father Ralph has his glasses on. I'm sitting right here in front of him. When the door opens, through his through his uh, glasses, I could see the beastly or demonic beings through his glasses. They opened the door and they were looking in. When that happened, Father Rob was like this. Father Rob was like, sweat started pouring down the side of his face. He wouldn't move or nothing. And once the door closed, Father Ralph told me to get up and to leave. He told me to leave, that there's nothing he could do for me. So he kind of like threw me to the dogs, literally, or threw me to whatever was there by the door, right? So, so you're not gonna pray for me or nothing. He said, leave. I can't do nothing for you. You could tell he was scared, man. I mean, this guy was like sweating bad, like he got scared of what he's seen. So, I went out there, opened the door and jumped out with my guards up. There's three of them and one of me. So I'm there and I'm looking around real fast, moving around in a circle, but there's nobody outside, right? So I'm looking to see where they're at. I'm looking towards the top of the building, everywhere. There's lights there in the location where the church is. So I needed one more block to go to my aunt's house. So that road was the street was dark, and I was walking slow, not trying to have fear, and I was trying to see if I could see any movement. So I got out of there, and I was like, all right, I made it safely to my aunt's house. I went inside the door. My cousin was there at that time. He was playing I think the game of the time frame was a Nintendo or a Super Nintendo, one of the two. Uh, and he was playing Contra or something, right? So there was this guy named Jab there, and he said something to me in a negative way that all I know is I got mad, and that's all I remember. I don't remember nothing. I don't remember nothing. Uh, all I remember is waking up in my house, and I had a knife in my hand that was open and it had blood on it. That's all I remember. That's how I woke up. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, where this knife came with blood. I see my little cousins coming. I think it was Jaime, my cousin Jaime, and cousin Gabby. They were coming, and they said, "You're in trouble, cousin." And they're like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Oh, my grandma, don't. My mom doesn't want you to come over because what happened last night, what you did." It's like, "What do you mean what I did?" And you don't remember, cousin? I said, "No, I don't remember nothing." So they left and told me I wasn't allowed to go to my aunt Amelia's house anymore. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. They said one of my cousins said that I beat up this guy, the guy that said something bad to me. So as the day went by, the guy came to the house later on in the afternoon, and he was black and blue all over his body. His face was he was jacked up. I messed him up. He had raccoon eyes. I mean, broken nose. I think I messed him up bad. I don't remember nothing. And I feel so bad that I apologized to him too, and I told him I don't remember nothing of what happened or anything like that. And he said, "No, it's my fault because I said something very bad to you, and you just lost it, man. That's what happens. I shouldn't have said." He said, "I shouldn't have said what I said to you." So as the days went past by, I started remembering little parts and pieces. I remember what he said to me. I remembered uh, that I was being the crap out of him by those outdoor washer and dryers with the rollers. I was beating the crap out of him by it. And my aunt was hitting me with a frying pan. They were hitting me with 2x4s, and everything was not working. I was on them like a pit bull. And then I remember walking. One of my coworkers that worked with me was a receiving manager. He was kind of like an a-hole to me. He told me that his dog Princess was missing, right? And he used to live right there in the corner by that church, you know. And I remember, parts and pieces. When you get, I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. I remember walking in front of his home, and this little dog kept on biting me in the ankle. All I remember is that dog doesn't something terrible happened to that dog. He got placed underneath some branches. Just put it that way. I remember running through the alleys like it wasn't me. Like it was like something had control of my body. The way I was running, it wasn't me. It was something that I believe those things that were following me, those demons that had spiritually possessed me because of the opening when the guy told me something bad, that was the opening when they attacked me, that they were around me all that time that I came out of the church. I just didn't know that at that time they attacked me, they possessed me. So I couldn't I could never tell I could never get it into me to tell the guy that I know what happened to Princess, that it bit me. I didn't have
Street,
that. Usually, the only thing I can tell you is this: she got ripped right down the center. And when I'm talking about being possessed, with demons, they're evil, man. You know, when they have your body control of your body, they can make you do anything without your consent because you had the opening, right? All I know is the dog suffered terribly.
street
Um,
tacos.
so yeah, Father Ralph let me down. Instead of praying for me, he left me hanging. He even seen the demons, man. He seen them, and he didn't do jack shit to help me out. Father Ralph was the name of the priest at the time. Matter of fact, after that incident, he requested to leave the church to a different church. He didn't want to be there in that town. Yeah, he was I mean, a sack of shit. You know, if he left me hanging, and he's supposed to be a man of the cloth, a man of God. You know, but you know, one of the reasons I left the Catholic Church is when I was over here in Killeen, there was this priest that told me, "Hey, man, so what do you want me to tell you about the things that are happening to you? This is just a job to me." He said, I work from 9 to 5 like any other job. It's just a job to me. That's what he says. And I'm supposed to
That's
be a
crazy.
priest of the church. So ever since then, I distanced myself away from the Catholic Church. Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to Father Ralph. He was a white guy with had curly hair. You know, he was like in his 20s, I guess. You know, 20, 25, 26, 27,
Welcome,
somewhere
Outdoor.
around there. But yeah, he left me hanging. Luckily, I survived that, and I learned from that experience. Of That's why I always say, maintain the love foundation at all times.
My
Don't get
brother's still
angry.
here.
I don't know if he's here or not. Thank you, Head Trip. That happened to me when I was. That's before I joined the military. I think I might have been 17 or 18 years old, or possibly 19 already when that happened to me. That was before I joined the military. I just needed to get out of that town. When I talk about spiritual hit, that's part of a spiritual hit. Somebody will send demons your way to attack you. They follow you around, just wait to see if they can find a spiritual opening.
Hey, brother, you remember when we were playing in that orange grove and we went all the way down to the where the farmer lived and he sucked his dogs on us? Yeah, man, I feel bad for that man. Wish that never should have happened.
What was that?
Well, we ran back, me and Joe, man, and we crossed this pipe that went across this little stream. Me and
Mm-hmm.
Joe hit it running. Mario had to sit down and scoot over the pipe while the dogs were coming, man. we We just ran. We really weren't thinking.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that story, man. Freaking Father Ralph. But you know what? What I went through just made me stronger. Made me understand the balance. I mean, Father Ralph is literally just a human being, so maybe he just couldn't react to what he's seen because he's not perfect. So he he knew if he would have done something that if Father Ralph was living not the path of a priest and
I'm
living
sorry
in
for that,
sin,
little brother.
that if he would have tried to do something, he would have most likely attacked him because he had a spiritual opening.
I'm sorry for that, little brother. Yeah.
What'd you do?
Hey,
You
man,
left
I was.
your brother hanging, man?
We took off running, man, and the dogs were coming, and we were doing the I don't need to be faster than the dog. I just got to be faster than you thing.
So y'all left Mario behind.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to apologize for that, man. That was
And what
kind of
happened?
crappy.
The dogs didn't attack him.
No, he managed to get across, but when he got back to the house where we were living, he was pissed off. You fuckers left me. Yeah, he was like 7,
Damn,
man.
cousin, you were 7 years old.
We were out there in the orange groves, man, looking for whistling snakes.
Dang, cuz you left him hanging.
Yeah, man, that wasn't that much older than then, man. But there was when we first met Mario. We hadn't met him yet. It was when we first were
Damn.
getting to know Mario.
I remember when the dog bit my brother. I was like Flash, man. I don't even know how I got home. I don't remember how I got home. All I know is I was by my mom already in the kitchen. She sent us to Benjamin's to the corner store and to get us a loaf of bread. There was these guys, Los Montes, that were always fishing their
Yes, they
Saint
were.
Bernard at us. Well, that day the Saint Bernard came out from underneath the house and he had foam in his mouth, and he came running, uh, uh, trying to attack us. All I remember is being at the house by my mom. I didn't know how I ran down the street. I remember opening the gate. I don't remember opening the front door. I just stand by my house. My mom's like telling me, "Que chinga tienes?" My mom, "Que chinga tienes?" And I was like, she like hit me, "Que chingas tienes?" And I said, "Dog, dog." That's the only thing that could come out of my mouth is dog, Jack, dog. And she took off and chingano, and she's seen, and now I go follow her, and Jack's coming limping, because the dog attacked him. It bit him on the ass, man.
Wow.
Bit him on the ass. I don't know where else he bit him, but she went over there, and my mom was pissed. The police came, and the dog went underneath the house. The guys were crying, "Don't kill the dog! Don't kill the dog!" And the police came. The dog catcher went down there, and boom, killed the dog, drag it from underneath the house.
Hey, Mario, but I made up for it, man, when I chased that 18-year-old through his house, kicking him in the ass when he knocked you and Joe off the bike.
That
That
dog
was
had
a
died, man. Today, Saint Bernard had rabies.
oh
My
shit, a
brother had to
Cujo?
get, I think, like 16 shots on the stomach.
It was a Cujo?
Saint Bernard, yeah,
Yeah. No, that's messed up, man.
he had to get shots on the stomach for
With
rabies.
rabies.
I always make fun of him from that. I said, "I'm sorry, bro. I was skinnier than him. He had more meat. The
Hey,
dog
man, but
wasn't interested in me."
that's when you found out you had a talent for running, huh?
Yeah, the Cujo, Saint Bernard.
Yeah. I didn't forget about that because I was only
Uh,
14 years old, little brother, and chased that 18-year-old through his house, kicking him in the ass. His parents like, get in this cabrón.
where was this at, cousin?
I beat up Professor's big brother, man, for knocking Joe and Mario off a bike. Kicked open his front door and chased him through his house, kicking him in the ass. He went out the back door. Well, that's another thing,
Oh,
Nevaeh.
yeah,
There is
it
no
was
hospital in Raymondville.
there's no hospital. It was my brother that got bit, not me.
You had to drive 25 minutes to get to a hospital.
I was like I got super strength, super speed that day. I don't remember making it to the house. When when it said that you get that adrenaline rush, that dog couldn't catch up to me, man. I was flying. It happened when we were kids. I was like in elementary.
You had talent for jumping, Ridge Runner.
Yeah, yeah, we were small, man. Seen a lot of crazy shit over there. I couldn't even go to
Oh,
the corner store to buy a loaf of bread because there'll be people sniffing paint or shooting up in the corner store. So you come out of the store and they want to steal your whatever you got. They're trying to steal you got a loaf of bread or whatever the mandados, whatever your mom told you to go get. They're trying to steal it off of you. There was this guy that was always high and he would pull out his knife trying to stab me all the time. What's his name? Jorge. He lived down the street. I don't know him as George. He was always trying to stab me with a knife when I was a kid. I was too fast for him. But he was always high on something. I would
there
never tell
wasn't
my
nothing
mom.
else to do in Raymondville but get
I
high,
would
man.
never tell my mom the people that I had to fight. I would keep it to myself. Let's see. What do I remember? Yeah, you know what he said? One thing I do remember is walking back to your house one night, me and Robert. The lights were on in your grandma's house, and the house had no power.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Es la casa de la bruja.
Hmm. Yeah, Mario's got a bunch of stories to tell from that house as well, man. Spent some time there.
Yeah. He says someone's mic is picking up the fan.
Oh, that's my fan. Hold on. There, I'll suffer for y'all in the heat. It's not hot in here, man.
I think it's Jesse's mic.
Oh, I know it's my mic, Nivea. Could be worse. I could be making the Lechuza sound.
Yeah, that house, man. I'm telling you, this is we're talking about disembodied voices and spirits. Imagine something mimicking one of your brothers and sisters, like a double hanger, pretending to be them. There was one day I was playing, and I was sharing the story the other day, where I was playing with my sister in the back room. Right, we were playing in the back room, and I go start walking to the front of the house, and I see the door open. It's my sister and my
You're
other
welcome in
sister
it.
that were coming in the house. So I stand in the kitchen, like, and I look back, like I was just playing with her. So I go look in the last room, and there's nobody there. So they have the capability of deceiving you, making you think it's somebody else. They can manifest to look like them. They can mimic the voices.
Did the sound stop, people?
Yeah, it stopped.
Okay. I apologize. There's two things that have gone wrong.
There was always activity at my grandmother's house, man, all the time. Even when she passed away, I would see things in there and outside the home. I just, that house doesn't exist anymore, but there's still things that exist in the yard and in our house. I never went back, man. Uh, nope, we lost cousin Jesse. There he is.
No, we lost you too, man. It bleaked out on both of us.
Shouldn't have made the Lechuza sound.
I did not do that. I will never do that. I learned my lessons when I was little. There you go.
Damn, I did it sound like somebody wiggled the door.
But you don't learn. You don't learn not to make that sound. You and
What?
Smurfy want
I
your eyes
got the
scratched
door
out.
locked. There was always activity there afterwards, during and after. Somebody said, I've had an ex in my shower tell out to me saying, "You heard me calling his name. It wasn't me."
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Yes, exuberance. It does. He does a good mimic of that. He really
I,
does.
I
And
can
every
do a better.
day, and every time
Let
he
me do.
does it, stuff happens.
I'm gonna do a better one for you. This is how it really sounds. A little bit longer. It waits a little bit, and then it goes. Waits a little bit before it does it again. Then waits and then does it again. Kind of like
You,
like a sonar.
you see what Mario said, cousin Abe? He said that he remembers when you guys found the black books and skulls in the back room where your uncle was dabbling.
Yeah, we got rid of a lot of things. The black bolt and skulls.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
You forgotten
man,
about that, cousin?
must have been somebody else that found them. I don't remember finding that. It could have been. Oh, what's going on here? Can y'all see me? If you can see me, give me a thumbs up. I think we lost cousin Jesse here. You're welcome, Neville's Angel. Goat's heads. Did I find it, cousin? Yeah, it's been a long time. I just remember when I found the donkey head on a front doorstep. I found a. We would always find those cats that were cut open down the center, hanging from the back fence.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, yeah. I lost you because I thought, can y'all see me? They gave me a thumbs up.
Did you quit
Man,
the live?
I made the lechuza sound and you cut off on me, cousin.
Let's get back in it, man, because I'm just seeing you. I don't see nobody else. Wait a minute. Let me.
I'm seeing everybody here. All the
There it
comments.
is.
Said
Sorry,
Mario.
y'all.
Somebody said I found dog. He's talking about some go heads and stuff like that. Yeah, it's probably Robert that found them because I don't remember finding them. I remember finding a donkey head on my front porch. And Madeline, no jodas, I'm working the night shift. I don't see.
No tengas miedo. Ten fe, Madeline.
Faith over fear.
Oh, I was trying to find Liz, but I couldn't find her. No, I'm just playing.
No, I think she turned into uh the wedding. What's that? The movie where the runaway bride. She got the cold feet because I don't want to be nobody's cyber girlfriend. Like the Wacho.
Ah,
Later,
I'll be over
homie.
there like the vato from
Deuces. She like deuces.
Primo. I'll be over there like the vato from La Bamba. Instead of saying Rich, I'll be like Liz.
Says there was some activity cousins yesterday. Yeah, it's because I
Hey,
made the whistles.
yeah, I scared nobody off. I didn't do anything. I'm just being me.
She got the cold feet. So I don't want to be nobody's
I,
cyber
hey man,
girlfriend.
I know what it was, Primo. I know what it was. She didn't want me to touch her with my missing toe.
What? Yeah. Well, no, she's California time. So what time is it right now?
It is over
Uh,
there. It is like
at
12.
2 o'clock. She'll come out on at 12, most likely. Now I'm joking. Cyber Lechuza. It was a Lechuza. Yeah, it's like
11:45 over there.
California time, 2 hours away from here. Yeah. She's gonna come out right at midnight. Let chinga, watch out, cuz she comes out right at midnight.
Be careful, man. I might kick myself out again.
Morgan said y'all were flirting last night.
We were talking about music, Morgan. That's all we were talking about.
Yeah, where's Liz Delgado? She just disappeared on us. Yeah, we haven't. I don't know what happened to her. She normally shows up, but maybe she's busy. Mierda. Somebody said, "Take it slow, take it
Uh,
easy."
uh Prima Ivy, I'm not taking it fast. I'm not taking it slow. I'm just being me.
Smurfy. uh, Madeline laughing. So yeah, there was always activity at that house. Uh, see, disembodied voices, disembodied laughs.
All
What is it? She's
right,
waiting.
runner.
Let's see at the Hotel California. Man, well, watch out. Your cousin gonna be like, "What's up? What's up, carnal? What's going on? Where's Mario at?"
He's still in here, man. He's still in here. At least I think he is. And
Yeah,
do
I
y'all
think
have
Robert.
do y'all
It
do
was
y'all have
you and
her
Robert.
number?
Remember
It,
the
it,
time, cuz if you're here, Mario, when I want to go fight those guys that were bullying you and Robert, but the dude pussed out and didn't want to fight me
is
over
her
there by
number still eight six
where I
seven
used
five
to
three
live.
zero nine?
Was it?
I'm asking if Liz's number still 8675309.
Somebody s- Somebody said, "Abe, I watched your short, and it sounded like a little boy was saying something." Yeah, at first, but then you heard something else that didn't sound like a little boy. What I heard with my regular ears was somebody laughing, like it sounded like a little boy laughing. But then when I reread the video, it's like sounds like something completely different.
What you doing up at this hour, little brother?
Yeah, I wanted to beat the crap out of that dude. Man, that dude was like 20 something years old, man. Uh,
Where was I
that,
at when this happened?
man, I don't know where you're at, cuz all I know that they told me what happened. I put on Robert's shirt, pretending to be him. I went up to the house pretending it was Robert, and the dudes come out like they wanted to fight, and they all pushed out. I knew all those dudes. I knew the other dudes that were there with them. Little punks. I should have beat their ass when I was in eighth grade. When they were in sixth grade, should have whooped that ass
I
for
know that's
messing with
Jimmy,
my
not
with
Liz,
my bro
Morgan.
and my primo. But the dude didn't want to fight me, man. He pushed out. Dale left was ready to fight. Was ready to throw down with him. Just they didn't want to fight. He says, "Can't sleep knowing I have Zoom calls at 7:30 tomorrow morning."
Uh-oh.
Somebody said that's Jenny, not Liz.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the number for the number of the song Jenny Jenny by Tommy Two Tone. Eight
Oh,
six seven five three oh nine.
what the hell?
It's a song, man, by Tommy Two Tone. Yeah, I know. Back then, Cousin Abe was all about beating somebody's ass.
Yeah, I was pissed, man. The dude didn't want to fight me, man. I ready to whoop his ass. I was gonna make an example out of him in front of all that is those people that were there. And he was older than me. He was 20 something years old. I think I was like 17. Robert and Mario were like in sixth grade. No, they were young, sixth or seventh grade. Yeah, I think they were like you're still in junior high, no? Cuz they were in junior high. This guy was like 20 something years old, messing with him.
So Morgan is her number 777-9311. Yeah, man. But you
Yeah,
know what, man? I got happy when we finally did train Mario and Robert. Everybody was training, and we just went around whooping ass.
yeah.
Yes, Navia, that's the time. I was trying to see who would catch that.
Remember what we were gonna get in a fight with the football team with some of the football players, the starters. Me, you, Chookies, and was it Chookies with? It was
Yeah,
me,
it was
you, and Chookies
me,
and
you, Chookies, and
Jack.
I can't, I can't remember
Jack,
who else.
yeah,
Yeah,
Jack,
Jack.
because he was
The
he's coming out of the military. We're gonna
the
get in
main
front in a fight in front of the principal's office against the principal's son, Tony Arriaga, Angel Moreno. Who was the other guy? Somebody else that was with him. I can't remember.
He was the main force of the DLF gang, man, that went up there to do some damage, man.
And they backed out. They didn't want to fight us.
Man, I hate to say this, man, because I went to that high school, man, and I was supposed to be proud of the football team, but they were a bunch of wusses, man. They had no huevos whatsoever.
Weapon was with us, primo. He said weapon. Weapon was one of the guys.
Could have been.
No, no
Too bad he's
weapon.
dead now, man. He
No,
passed
no
away
weapon.
too.
Weapon always had my skina, man. Weapon always had my back.
Nevia, we were rascals.
Weapon. He's talking about Michael Garcia. Weapon.
Yeah. Good night, head trip.
Weapon had-
Lord bless you and keep you safe.
Oh, weapon had beef with Joe. Okay. I know the coach was pissed off. Coach Garcia. He's
Yeah,
like,
he didn't
he told
he
me,
didn't
he
like
told
me.
me, he told me you're supposed to be a Bearcat. And I said, yeah, but this is my familia. This is my family. I said, I run track. I don't play football. I said, but you're a Bearcat. I said, yeah, I'm gonna back up my family over any Bearcat. But Mike Garcia became cool afterwards. I think it was cool.
Nah, man, not with me, man. I had
No,
beef with that vato till like he almost passed away. You
oh
know what that
yeah,
vato did, man? He put a rag in Juan Garza's car in the gas tank and set his car on fire, dude.
oh shit. Was you doing drugs, man?
The more likely, I remember I had a lowrider neon, and I went and parked at Juan's house, left the windows open. I came back, somebody had pissed in my back seat, man. I mean, smelly pee, dude. It took me like 2 weeks to get that smell out of my
So,
car, man.
so what did he pass away from, man? I never found out.
Uh, I can't remember, man, if he was murdered or if it was a
Took his
overdose. I
life.
can't remember.
Yeah, because he gave me the skina, man. Before I joined the military, I was at a carnival, and I was wearing my Letterman jacket. It was my senior year, and there was this girl that I already graduated. She was like 3 years older than me, and she wanted me to get on the first wheel ride. Her nieces came and told me my aunt wants you to ride on the first row with her. So I got on the first row. I can't remember what her name was. I think her last name was Gonzalez. I can't remember her first name, but I got on the first row with her, and I know she used to have a boyfriend. She said she was broken up or whatever. So I'm on the first one. She gives me a kiss on the cheek, right? So finish the first row. When I get off the first row, her ex boyfriend is waiting there with two other guys, and they said that they're gonna beat me up, this and that. So I get my stance ready to fight them, to see who's gonna be the first one. And then it's when out of nowhere, man, I just see a blue flash, and then like two other blue jackets come out of nowhere, man. It was a weapon, was one of them. He took out the dude. Then it was Ramon Castillo. Remember him, Ramon Castillo? Big old. He used to play football, and it was somebody else. It was three guys that took him out, and they're like, "Hey, get out of here, man." So you don't have to say you already been through too much. Just get out of here. So I just walked away. They took him out for me. So I remember what they did for me. They had my back. You know, I never considered them like enemies. I always treated people like friends. So they had my back. It was going to be 3-on-1. It became uh literally 3-on-3, and I didn't have to do nothing. So they got rid of the people that wanted to jump me. And then after that, the girl was pissed off. She called me and she says, "I don't ever want to speak to you again." And I said, "Well, that's what you get for trying to set me up for failure." She was mad because her boyfriend got her ex, or supposedly her ex boyfriend got beat up. Oh well, there's nothing dealing with me. She
We
tried to
grew up
set
in
me
the
up.
era where you talk shit, you get hit.
But weapon, Mike, he took out the dude. You know, me and him we really never had nothing. He was always cool with me. I don't know that he changed or anything like that, but at that time he was cool with me. He had my back. But yeah, I don't know, man. I seen that he passed away. But I don't know what happened. His sister is with my cousin. With my cousin, Jesus Davila is my primo on my dad's side of the family. His
Hmm,
sister is with him, with my primo. Just see, that's like the town I grew up in. Talk shit, get hit.
exactly. Our town is real little. It's like what 7,000 people that live there, Abe?
Yeah. Let me do something real quick here. There's not that many people.
Oh, thank you, Monsoon. Thank you. It's just something I got. I was telling cousin Abe that I've been looking at the past lives, and I'm always in a muscle tee, man. So yesterday I wore a shirt. I thought I'd wear a shirt today again, man. I am not trying to impressify no female, but I have to wear a shirt. Questions or comments that need to be answered on tonight's topic? Hmm.
Go ahead and share a story, primo.
I was trying to think of one, man. We're talking about what makes your senses go off, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean, pobrecito de mi, Nevia's angel? It's like when I saw that werewolf in Mississippi, primo. That I told you I was running by myself while everybody was in the pickups. That my hair stood up, man, and I stopped and looked to the right, and the that whatever it was, that wolf or DDN that was there, man, it was standing by the cotton module. It was taller than the cotton module, but I didn't see it, but it made me react. So when I stopped and looked where my gut was telling me to look, I saw it. Look, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, man. Uh, I stopped and I looked, and it was there, man. And like I said, it was taller than the module, and then it started like sinking into the ground. Oh man. And
Remember said
as it was sinking into the ground,
remember you said there were positive influences on me, and he put a laughing
as it was
emoji.
sinking into the ground, I saw the red eyes, primo, the red eyes that it had, and I started walking toward it, and it was like, let's say, within 5 or 6 feet that was standing in front of it. It blinked and it disappeared, and with a puff of smoke, and then it smelled like rotten eggs, man. But like I said, we're talking about what triggers your reactions, what triggers your senses. That triggered my senses because it had been running in front of the pickups in the cotton field across the highway, and I don't know how it wound up over here by where I was running by myself on foot, man, on the property. But it triggered my senses, man, and it made me stop and look, and my gut told me where to look. And when I looked where it was indicating to where I look, I saw it. I almost didn't see it. If I would have, I think that if I would have kept running, it probably would have attacked me from behind.
Some everything says, I don't want to see a werewolf. No thanks. Thank you for
Well,
all the
I,
viewers that are here. Uh,
I didn't want to see it either, but things happen, and you just have to play the cards that you're dealt.
do you think these entities go after the spiritually gifted, Jesse?
Yes, because if you see them, they don't want you to see them. They're supposed to remain hidden. This stuff that humans aren't supposed to see. It's like when Cousin Abe went to that werewolf party where everybody was biting each other. That
I just went up in
was
a
crazy.
situation. I followed these people, and it happened.
I made him tough, Nivea.
Somebody said, I think the freakiest thing I've ever seen was a cat that wasn't a cat. Hmm.
Did he have a bag of tricks?
A cat that wasn't a cat. A pussy that wasn't a pussy gato. Pussy gato. Pussy
He was a
cat.
lesbian.
He growled at me, then walked across the street to my house and went under the fence. A
Wow.
growl. Maybe it was a duende.
But yeah, cousin, that was like the second time that something had triggered my spiritual senses, man, to know
So
where they
so
were.
I got a question for you, cousin. Uh,
Okay.
when that incident happened, since it happened to you, do you
Yes.
feel that whatever was there was meant for you? What path were you on your at that time in your life? I know you was there working. You said you were
Uh,
in pain. What was it? The path you were living at the time when this happened?
well, I was recovering from drug addiction. I'm not gonna lie, but I hadn't been using. Uh, I was still not forgiven anybody for anything that was done to me. As a matter of fact, before I saw it, I had gotten into it with this guy that used to ride with us to work. I opened up the door and got out. He got out of the back door and almost disemboweled me when I turned around. He had a big old lock blade, man. Me hizo un tirón así a la panza. I scooped back. He almost disemboweled me right there.
Where you were
At the, at
working?
the yeah, when we got to work. When we got to work,
You try to cut your stomach?
he tried to cut me up, man, with a big old lock blade, man. And that's that night that I saw that thing, man. It was a spiritual opening. I think it was there for me. But yeah, I,
So
I was not having any forgiveness for anybody, man.
so that it could have been the opening that he used to. He might have used a guy to come at you, and then since he couldn't do the job, he said, "Okay, fuck it, I'm gonna excuse my language, so I'm gonna go after him." So when you were working at the module, how did it happen? I mean, like,
Well, I was
explain the work that you do. I mean, so people can know what was your job
we we
duty as.
were we worked outside on the module feeder, and if that machine ever breaks down, the whole gym stops until that gets fixed because that's what feeds the entire complex. That's what keeps the machines working. And it's about six or 6 or 7 feet up off the ground. You have to climb up some stairs, and then you have a catwalk that on each side of it, the trucks pull in and they drop off the modules, the cotton modules. Some are wrapped in plastic, some have tarp, depending on how they were made. And I was standing on top of the catwalk, and I just looked, I think, to my right, and I saw it walking on two legs, man. And I did a triple take to make sure that it was what I thought it was. And like I said, they had a little
So
houses there.
you were on top of the catwalk,
Yeah,
and the modules you could see them below you.
the modules would fall to my left side. The
Hmm.
truck would come and back up, and then it would move the chains to where the modules wrapped in plastic would come like this, and then they would fall like that. They would be standing on the ends like that, man, and then we would cut the plastic so that they could be torn up by the machine. So the side of the catwalk had a little lip on it, and
Are
that's
you
where
going
we
through now?
stood. And that's where we stood to cut the plastic. So when you stood on top of that little lip, you were taller than the module. So when you looked around, you could see over everything. That's when I saw it, and like I said, it was moving fast, man. And
So
like I
when you
said, I
see
did a
it
triple take.
was like the light hitting it.
Yeah, because they had floodlights all over the property, man. So everything was bright. You could see everything.
So you seen the red eyes and the
I
what was
saw I saw the back of it, man. It was like I told you, it was like a reddish fur, kind of brownish, and it had ears, man. And it was moving fast, and it turned like that a corner, and I saw the mouth. It had a snout on it, man, like a dog, but it was muscular, and it was walking on two legs, man. And like I said, I sent out the alarm because there was little kids sleeping on the property where they lived, the workers lived. So I wasn't the only one that seen it, man, because they were chasing it. There was like 2 truckloads of people chasing that thing, so I wasn't the only one that saw it. It went into the seed storage where donde cae la semilla del algodón, where the seed, after they take it apart from the cotton, they put it in a little warehouse and they sell the seed separate. And it went in there, and then everybody chased it there, and then it started running, and it looked like it was like teleporting.
so the alarm that you set off? What is it? Was this a switch or?
No, no, I just started yelling that I saw something, that there was a stranger on the property. And then everybody saw it, and then, what the hell is that? And they started chasing it, man.
So how many people are we talking about that? Because it's those gyms are pretty big. So how
Yeah,
many
there was at
people
least there was
in
at
numbers?
least There was at least 20 to 25 people, if not more, man, chasing that thing, man.
Oh wow! So they were in trucks.
They got in like I said, they lived there on the property, so their vehicles were parked right there, man. They got in two trucks and they were chasing it, and that thing it left like after image. It looked like it was teleporting like that. You just see after images of it, and it
It's
crossed the
going like
highway.
in phases. You said, what you mean by that is moving in phases, like
Yeah, it was phasing in and out. And like I said, it crossed the highway into the cotton field across the highway, and they followed it over there. But like I said, I didn't get a chance to get into one of the trucks. I was running on foot, and I felt it. My hair stood up, man, and I felt like I was in danger. I looked to the right, and I saw it. It was sitting right there.
so. How tall did you
It was
estimate the height?
well,
Because
the
those things are tall, no?
the module is like maybe 7 feet tall. The ones that have the lonas on them, and it was taller than the module, man. So maybe 8 feet, maybe 8 feet tall, man. And like I said, if I hadn't seen
And that
it,
was taller than the 8 feet tall.
yeah, it was taller than the module because, like I said, the module maybe 7 feet, and it was taller, so it might have been 8 feet tall, man. And like I said, I started walking toward it, and it started like sinking into the ground, disappearing, man. By the time I got to it, like maybe 6 feet, I could see we were like eye to eye, and then
Uh,
it closed its red eyes, and a puff of
But
smoke came up and it
how
disappeared.
did the red eyes, did they look like bright red eyes? Did they have a glare like bright?
They had a glare on them, man. They were glary red eyes, man, and it had its mouth open like that.
You could see the
I'll never
fangs and
forget that.
everything.
Yeah, I'll never forget that, man. I'll never forget that as long as I live, and I'm just glad I lived through that, man.
So it went straight into the ground, and he was still looking at you when it went into the
Yeah,
ground.
we had eye contact, man. I wasn't gonna not stop looking at it, and it was not gonna stop looking at me, man. We were staring eye to eye.
So what were the other people saying? Like
Well, they
when
were
they
looking for it. They were looking for it in the field, and they couldn't find it. When they came back and saw me standing there by myself, I said it was right there, man. It just disappeared, and that was like the achievement for like 2 or 3 weeks while we were there. But like I said, I wasn't the only one that seen it, man. And that's what's important to me was that I'm not the only one that seen it.
uh, do you think that guy that tried to knife you with a knife that he had to do something with that?
I don't know because he was in one of the pickups. No, they sent him home. It could have been him. They sent
They
him
sent
home,
him.
man. Yeah, they sent him away from off the property because he tried to kill me.
Damn.
I told you that story, Primo. He went and they sent him home, and then I felt my sword crying to me that it was being handled by someone else, and he threw it in the woods, man. I found it because it called to me and told me where it was.
How you doing, brother Josh Turner? PRT. The PRT's in here, I think. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Yeah, I believe you, man. You know, and you said when it disappeared, it smelled like rotten eggs, right?
Yeah. Al Gore, that was a crazy experience, and the bad thing is, man, I was completely sober. I can't say that I hallucinated that, man.
Sister Divorce says we cut all sins in our life. Does that close all spiritual openings? Walking with the love foundation is a big part of that. Having no hatred or anger, forgiving, having no fear, not believing in other things. Yes, that will help a lot. Because then they won't have a spiritual opening to try to attack you, even though as you're blessed with the spiritual gift of discernment, then you're able to see other things that are running spiritually, like what happens to me. How you doing, brother Josh? We're just talking here about disembodied voices and spirits that trigger your spiritual senses. I had created a short reel of what happened to me when I went and go investigate a day ago out there. I don't know if you've seen the short reel, but where somebody say something right beside me, and people were saying they were saying different things of what they heard, but that's what we're talking about. That and things that trigger your senses spiritually. I know Brother Josh Turner was having activity happen to him at his home, where he used to live, where he said he would hear footsteps, so bangings, and sometimes he would see apparitions of un bulto negro, dark shadow, that he would see that there was everybody was seeing this presence of a dark shadow inside their home, even though they prayed and they rebuked, this thing kept on coming. So he was having a lot of activity in there. Brother Josh Turner from PRT. Hope one day, man, you come back, brother. One day.
Telling that story, cousin, it made my fingertips go numb, man.
Yeah, when you remember things like that, you think that's bad. Uh, I used to run long distance. I was a long distance runner, and I was always running. I was always training. Like during the summer, we just train, 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 get ready for whenever track season would come. I was always running. Uh, I was running down this dirt road that you put past, and also I was running past the cemeteries because my grandfather and grandmother were in the old cemetery. Do the sign of the cross, pay homage to them. And then I'll cross the Highway 77 and run down this other dirt road because you go down that dirt road and you take a right, you go to the other cemetery where my mother uh, 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 cemeteries, what do you call it? Grave was. So I was running down. I had already crossed the 77. It was daytime. I was running, and as I was running down this road, it's kind of like when you're running fast and just it's sometimes when you're running that fast that you're keeping your body busy. Sometimes your senses are going to trigger because it didn't trigger for me that there was something around me. I was running so fast that I got hit by something. I got hit so hard that I flew back, and it stopped me from. It messed up my stride. And when I looked, there was like nothing but crap on my shirt, side of my face, where. And I look up to the sky to see there was any kind of birds flying in the air. There was nothing in the air. There was no airplanes in the air. And I'm looking, and I have crap all over me, like something threw crap at me. So I stopped. The only thing that's beside me on to the right, which that's where I felt that I got hit by, was the right, is was a wooded area. In that wooded area, there was some, mesquite trees, and there was a house in the distance. But that's where I got hit from. So I'm looking and I'm saying, calling out to whatever's there, but nothing's surfacing up. So I look and I'm just looking to see if I see any movement, to see if it's somebody that, but it was too much crap on me. So I ran to the cemetery, opened up one of the water faucets, wiped all the stuff off for me, took off my shirt, left the shirt there, and I ran back into town, like trying to figure out what the hell happened. So I just left it at like maybe it was something in but there was no airplane or nothing in the air. I don't know where I got hit. Something hit me, came out of nowhere. So there was another night, we had that truck, a 65 Ford, and I was driving down the road past almost a cemetery. It's nighttime, and across the Highway 77 and go down towards this. There was this ranch that had the lights on. So I'm going down the dirt road. I passed the area where I had gotten hit by the crap. So I start going towards the cemetery. I'm going 35 miles an hour, and I came past the poles that are in front of me. Like I'm literally going 35, but I'm not passing the poles. So when I look to the rear, I see like something blocking the ranch lights behind me. So I give it more gas, I'm going 40, and it's still not moving forward. Next thing you know, the rear end gets dropped, and I almost lose control and hit the pole. So I drive home. I'm freaked out. Like, what the hell's going on? I get to the house, and my cousin Jesse's a bit, little bit drinking a little bit, and just they looked at me, I looked pale, and I was like telling them that what happened. They're like, it's just your imagination, blah blah blah. So him and my brother went outside. What did you find, cousin?
The tailgate on the truck was hanging.
The tailgate was hanging. Those trucks used to have chains on the side of them, so the tailgate got ripped off. It was hanging off the truck, right? So my cousin's like, "Hey, cousin, can you take me to the store?" It's like, I want to go get me a beer and some smokes. I was like, "Man, come on, you'll forget about it." So I went over there. I drove. Our truck was as legal as hell. Everything was legal on it. So I parked in the back of the store in the street. So I'm there, and when I'm sitting there waiting for him, out of the field, there's a field. You can see this dark shadow figure moving real fast, and it's big. It's covering half of the road. And then I hear my cousin like, "Hey, cuz," and I was like, "What to tell you, cousin?"
Get in the truck. Get in the truck. I said, why? He said, look. I said, oh shit, let's go, let's go, let's go.
I tell him to get in the truck, and he looks and he sees this big old thing coming towards us. It followed us. He followed us for how many blocks?
At
Was it like
least
six?
at least 6 blocks, man. And it was
Because
gaining on us and we were doing 40.
yeah, it was huge and it was gaining on us. So I don't know how went through. I don't know how we made it home, but we made it home, But it was huge. It was humongous. I think a little bit after that is when my sister starts seeing this red eyes peeking into her window. Remember the red
Can
eyes?
Monsoon, you want me to, what do you mean the store was calling me? Look, Monsoon, I believe in the Eastern philosophy, and every sword ever made has a soul. My sword, I had a katana. I would meditate with my sword in my hand, and I would focus my chi into the blade. So when you do that, the you kind of have a kinship with your blade, and if anybody else touches it that's not yours, that's not you, your sword will call to you because you're making it an extension of your body. Now, a sword is a sword no matter what plane it's in. So even angels use swords, Monsoon. That's my explanation that it was calling to me. And it led me right to it.
Well, cousin, what did you see? Sister Neva's Angels of what? That's creepy. What was it? What did you see, cousin?
It was
Near,
it was a big old, I could say it was like a black shadow figure that was at least 8, maybe 9 feet tall. And it was
when
really wide. It took up almost the whole driving lane, and it was coming after us. It was
it
coming
was
after us.
massive. When people talk about Bigfoot, uh, I think they misidentify what that was to a Bigfoot because it covered the whole freaking lane of that road, and it was real wide and real tall, and it was moving real fast.
Like I said, we were doing 40 and it was gaining.
It was big. It was massive.
We were driving a 3 on a tree. Remember, cousin?
I mean, whatever it was, uh, I was going 35, and it was able to lift up my rear end going 35 miles an hour. So imagine somebody trying to run into Imagine somebody trying to run to a vehicle and lift it from the rear end on the move. It's hard to do. Was it being elevated through supernaturally? What was the case? I don't know. All I know it happened. I went from going 35 and I'm moving forward. It's crazy.
Sleep paralysis. That was probably a succubus exuberance, a succubus or a demon.
Yeah, so a succubus, or incubus, or a succubus. They attack when you're asleep through night terrors. Never I hate shadow entities. I've seen them since I was 4 to 5. Just black mass, yuck. They come from different dimensions. They pop up in and out of the world. They used to watch me sleep. Yeah, that's I believe they're the DDN. What was left of the Nephilim. That's what roams the earth. That's what they do is roam earth, which they're in spirit form, in which they will look like a dark shadow or a dark spirit, right? Dark shadow, bulto negro. We call it in Spanish bulto negro. That's what they are. I mean, that's why they're so big. But there are some that are small, real small. Whoever was the one to talk about they mistook one for a cat. Yeah, I seen one that is around this big in the last room. I was asleep in the last room at the house where I grew up, and it was when I was in the army. I came and they said, "Oh, you can sleep in the last room." So I was laying down in the last room, and the basketball gets thrown and hits me on the head, and I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm looking, and it's like, oh, just my imagination. But somebody threw the ball, right? It hit me hard on the head, so I'm going back to sleep. Then I see something on my on my stomach, and it's black. So I grab and throw it. I don't know what it was. All I know it was black. It looked like a dark shadow, but it's short like this. And it was no cat because the way I threw it, I threw it hard. It would have made that the cat sound like Rear. Nah, I don't know what it was. All I know it was small, like it could have been a duende around this big.
Well,
But
Monsoon, you really must know if the wolf hadn't disappeared, what were my plans? I've told everybody this, man, and they laughed at me. All I had was a box cutter that I was using to cut the plastic off the off the modules. I was gonna fight it with my box cutter, Monsoon. Also, let me put it to you this way about the sword thing. When you practice Tai Chi, it'll take you 20 years to master the technique of Tai Chi. When you practice the Tai Chi sword, because that's the weapon that's included in that martial art, the Tai Chi sword is really, really flexible. It'll take you another 20 years to master that sword because when you use the Tai Chi sword, you have to push your chi through the handle into the blade to make it rigid. That's what makes the blade hard. So yeah, you have to use your chi when you're doing anything with swords because, like I said, every sword has a soul.
yeah, and there was Angel. You talking about the Hat Man? What's his name? The Hat Man, right?
What happened?
I think there's another name for it too. That people use. Some people consider it to be Jack the Ripper, spirit of Jack the Ripper, the Hat Man with
Monsoon,
the red eyes.
you have to have faith and not fear. You have fear, you feed it. Yeah, I was gonna take it on with just a box cutter, man, because cousin Abe knows I'll fight anything.
Hey, I go out there without a weapon, man. And if I would have to fight, I would have to fight with what I know. Look what happened to me when I went there yesterday on the show reel. There were a lot of them around me.
They were waiting for you, man.
The,
They were just
the
standing there
weapons,
waiting for you.
any weapon is not going to be able to do nothing with them to them. That's what I try to tell people. Yeah, maybe I should take something with me just in case it is something else, right? But of what I've seen, what has shown me, there are demonic in nature, man. You're not going to be able to fight a spirit or a DDN or a skinwalker shapeshifter with a weapon. You're going to have to fight it spiritually. If you try to use a weapon, it might just try to use that weapon on you.
I'm glad you said something, man. I don't want to be like that other guy that's running around looking for Bigfoot with a little sword.
Like, oh boy, the one that's seeing the
Yeah,
saber-tooth tigers, that's the one you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah. He
You
wants
see
to.
the picture with two swords like this, and the swords are not even leveled, like they're not the same kind of sword. And he's doing it for show. It looks like a sword he bought at the flea market.
Well, he's a Power Ranger, man. He's seeing saber-tooth tigers. He's seeing T-Rex. He's seeing woolly mammoths, the pterodactyls.
We call him Pardon, man. He's standing with
Mhm.
two uneven swords. What the
He's
hell are you
a
gonna do?
he's a Power Ranger.
You seen those swords? They're not even sharp, man. They're like just for show.
I can already see him. It's farting time.
Farting, the Farting Rangers, or the what are they gonna be called? If they're farting is from Brokeback Mountain, what would he be called as a ranger?
He would be the Pink Ranger.
There you go, brother Jess Turner. He's the Pink Ranger. Yeah, he's got two different kinds of swords. They're not even
and,
balanced to be able to. He does them for show. Now it's like
and
if you're
that's
gonna
the
do
thing,
something,
cousin.
it's
That's the
gotta be
thing.
equal. You know,
You
show
gotta
your
have the right sword for the right job. You can't use a two-handed sword in one hand and a one-handed sword in the other because you're off balance, man. You can't. The cutting mechanics don't work.
That's what I said when I see him displaying the swords. Like, come on, man, just for show. He
You-
says the only time that I heard him talk one time was he said that he's on a mission. The mission is that he's gonna go in LBL and kill the dogman of the LBL. That when he finds it, he's gonna kill it. And the only thing he found was a saber tooth tiger that didn't even show in the picture. I'm just
Transform
trying to
into a
find out.
Zord.
I'm just trying to find out what he's on, man. He's got to be on something. Seeing saber tooth tigers, they're
You
not even
being
there.
in, you been in the military, cousin. You
Yes,
do know the cutting mechanics of a katana sword, right? You know that, like, let's say you hold it with your left hand on top and your right hand on the bottom. You know the cutting mechanics. The left hand pushes down in the strike, while the right hand pushes up on the handle, and that's the only way you can get a cut. You can't just swing it like a baseball bat; it won't cut that way. Yeah, you make him some puppy chow.
yeah. I was like, come on, bro.
It's
I said,
Spartan time. Saber-tooth
no.
tiger.
You can tell. You can tell. I kind of feel sorry for the guy, man, but not really, because I mean, when you do it for show, and I know you're trying to look. I think he was trying to do it to look like he's a badass. I think they had a figurine of him with the swords or something like that, but
Yeah, I
I
saw
don't
his
see
picture.
I don't see a badass. I
Hey man,
see a
I saw his picture. He looks like the poor version of Dog the Bounty Hunter.
no. Honestly, I will be honest with y'all. He looks like the guy Tales from the Creep. What was it?
The Crypt Keeper.
He looks like the Creeper from Tales of the Crypt, right? What is it called?
Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, that's what it looks like the Crypt, the Tail Crypter. I mean, that's what it looks like to me when I see him. You see the way his hair is and the glasses. That's what he looks like.
Hey Navia, if he looks like a tweaker with those swords, he probably uses those swords to cut up the lines.
That's a
I
big
think
ass
we've got
sword.
enough topic.
Cut a big line, no?
A rail. It's called a rail, primo.
You seen the picture where he said he's seen a saber-tooth tiger, and I'm like looking at the picture, all I see is grass. Like, where's this saber-tooth tiger? He's like, it's a big cat. It weighs like 240 pounds. And I look at him, I don't see no cat at all, just grass. I like, I want to know what kind of drug he's on. He got to be on something. If you're seeing saber-tooth tigers,
He's watching Power Rangers while he's smoking meth.
man. Sorry, we're getting a little bit off topic. It's
We're
just,
way off topic, man. We're talking Power Rangers, and he's the yellow
yeah.
one or the pink one.
So we got a little bit carried away with this, brothers and sisters. It's just something we had to speak about.
Yeah, Monsoon. When it comes to like swords and stuff, man, that's my business, man. I've always been into stuff like that, man. Cousin Abe knows. Cousin Abe knows.
Swords, nunchucks, anything.
Hand to hand combat.
Mono, yep, hand-to-hand combat.
I've been wanting to try that mutual combat thing, cousin. I just haven't found nobody I want to beat up yet.
We said a certain individual had one more day, but I don't know, man. He popped in here
well,
talking about his account is locked and all this stuff, but I seen him making videos, so I'm
well,
thinking he just
if anybody would know, it would probably be Morgan. She's the one that's been keeping the countdown.
according to the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody might know. Maybe his ex-wife might know. Maybe she'll give us the insight after everything goes down.
It's
Yeah,
a
I
beautiful
had
culture, Nubia.
a neighbor that I think he was Japanese. How you doing, brother Gary Lopez?
Morgan says a couple hours away, primo.
Couple of hours away. Uh, it was not, we was already seeing shadow figures, right? So one night I hear my neighbor talking his Japanese, different language, and I'm like trying to figure out what's going on, right? So I go out there and look, and he's in the middle of the street, and he's got somebody, and he's got he's with somebody, and he's got him, and he's fixing to punch him in the face, he's got a he's fixing to get him and say what's going on, and that was his black guy, African American. He's like, no, I was just my vehicle gave out right there by the mailbox. So I was just trying to get a jump, So the Japanese guys told me, no, he's lying, So he go around my house. I see him. He's like, I see him every night going around my house, like he's telling me. But there's shadow figures that we were seeing there, So he was seeing the shadow figures. So I just told him, just let him go. I walked down the street, and he went to his vehicle. And I said, look, I'll come help you, give you a jump or whatever, which he didn't need a jump. But when I went back up the street, that man had the katana sword, man, big one, or like I don't know, it was huge, man. He looked at me like he was ready for action, but he was saying that he would see the dark figures going around his house every night. I believe it was those spirits that were going around his home. I don't know what was this man's past or anything, but you could tell he was like he knew what he was doing with that sword. I seen his stance, the way he was standing, like he knew how to use it.
Al Gore, Chinese culture. Primo Abe will tell you. When I was in my teens, man, I used to practice kung fu.
Yeah. Training at nighttime.
We would do Tai Chi by the tree. Remember we used to stretch our legs up on that tree right there by the picnic table, primo? Right by the front fence?
And you know he was. I was telling him that when I would run, that I was when I would go running, that and I would go train. I would go train in this little location, which is outside the city, right, the city limits. And I was telling him that there was lechuzas out there and brujas. And I said, "You don't believe me, cuz?" I said, "Come, I want to show you." So I took him to this location, and I said, "Just we're training or whatever." And what happened, cousin?
Man, them things started scratching and whistling, and then I said, man, we need to get the hell out of here.
There was a lot of lechuzas out there in that wood line by the irrigation system.
Wow, cousin, it doesn't even feel like we've been on for 2 hours and 30 minutes, man.
Yeah.
It's a good conversation, man.
Well, we had to do what we had to do to survive, man. Our time, where we come from, we're in between the border and the checkpoint. So there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening there. Crooked people, gangsters, drugs, killings, and it's just crazy, man. Brujas, brujos, cults, uh, not just cults, but what do you call them? From
Fake,
Mexico,
fake pastors at the Catholic Church, all that shit, man.
fake pastors that were actually devil worshippers. The reason I knew he was a devil worshiper because his sleeve went up and you could see he had a tattoo of the devil in his freaking forearm. The priest,
Wow.
Father Ralph, gave his identity away. He had a tattoo of Lucifer on his freaking forearm.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and a lot of gangs and cartels on both sides of the borders.
Yes, I'll go. A bunch of coyotes were in there, man. Putting the boils in the abandoned houses so that they could, at the first sight of rain, they can sneak them across the border. Because when it rains, they don't check your shit.
And I just, oof, something messed with my ear, man. Like something went off. Like
That's your own fault, man. You keep with you
a
doing that.
sonar.
You keep doing that Lechuza whistle, man. You think they ain't gonna mess with you? How long has it been since Smurfy posted anything on this live, man? The Lechuza probably got him too, because he did the same thing.
Larry, I haven't heard from Larry. I know one day somebody popped up in here before we were just on YouTube. Somebody had popped out talking about what kind of weapons we got and all this stuff, and I feel it was Larry. Uh, there's another idiot right there. Uh, they're always trying to threaten they're going to do this or that. Larry is a old perverted man. Uh, that starts a lot of stuff with people that thinks he's untouchable, that he can do whatever the hell he want to do. He started problems with PRT, Paranormal Roundtable. He's affiliated with a saber-tooth tiger guy.
He's the Yellow Ranger.
So he probably would be the Yellow Ranger. He's always talking about what kind of weapon do you have? I got a licensed weapon. You just don't know that you don't. I don't need a licensed
I'm
weapon.
a I'm a weapon, man. I'm a living weapon.
I don't need a licensed weapon to get rid of somebody. You ever wanted to? Yeah, a lot of all these people. They were friends of brother Josh Turner, and they turned out to be backstabbing him, man. There's people that he opened up his doors to them, and they all came backstabbing him. Larry, Cuffington, and freaking Sabretooth guy, the Pink Ranger.
That fits it, man. Every time I hear that, it makes me laugh, man.
Yeah, he literally gave him hospitality and everything.
Him
Then
and
fucking
the
Larry gave out his address where he lives, so he had to get up and move.
wow,
He was trying to get some people his way, trying to give him his street address so they can try to do something.
what a douchebag.
But Josh's a big guy; he can handle himself. So Josh probably like, man, I hope they come over here trying to do something. They're gonna be set as an example. That's what I say. So they come over here in any kind of freaking way. That's it, man. I ain't gonna be playing around with them. I'm not gonna talk to them. I'm not gonna be spiritual Abe. I'm gonna be sorry to see us. Take care of business.
Don't forget to come get corporal discipline. He's got your six, man.
Yeah, Gary Lopez says there are assholes who used to wolf to get off the floor, then bit the hand that fed them. Yeah, piece of shit. They're trying to get me to join them, and I was like, what are you talking about? They're trying to get me to choose my friendship between them and brother Josh Turner, and me and brother Josh Turner were already cool. Whatever happened in the past, we had squashed it. So I had already seen the pattern that they were up to no good. So I just unfriended them. When I unfriended them, that's when the Pink Ranger comes out with his fake ass swords, talking bad about me, saying he's gonna do this or that, and he ain't done shit.
Hey, cousin, have you told Josh that he came in here crying that for you to unfreeze his account?
Well, yeah, that was corner of the cob.
Oh, okay, wrong guy.
No, Larry got some issues, man. You know, for anybody, man, to respect anybody's wife using the B word, that's an automatic ass whooping.
That's an automatic ass whipping just on principle, man.
That's an automatic ass whooping. Automatic ass whooping. Straight up. Una pinche potiza a los putos.
Welcome,
Una
Christy.
bola de chingazos. Una, ¿cómo se dice? Vergazos.
Mm-hmm. Welcome, Diablo Baruch.
That's right, brother.
Scary Larry.
That's brother Josh Turner's brother. Yeah,
The
man.
scary Larry has bad things coming to him if he's unlucky enough to cross my path. I don't blame you. Handle that
Yeah, they
business.
stuck a lot of things with a lot of people, man. Made a lot of enemies. If they get stupid enough to come over here to my house, man, I'll take care of them. Trust me. That's probably what the things were telling me out there in the woods. So when are you gonna fuck them up? I know what they were saying. I just gotta be careful because there's other things that I'm dealing with. So
Yeah, Al Gore, putazos.
Gary is a
Josh,
scorpion.
who's Gary? Oh, Gary Lopez.
Gary Lopez. That's he works with them up in Austin. They have a do security, like security job. Yeah, it's messed up, man. They brought. It's kind of like I felt like if they had a problem with Josh or with me or with anybody that they were coming up against that they've been messing with us for a long while. How come they couldn't do nothing at the conference? Like tell me, hey, I don't like you, or well, let's we can talk about it or do something about it. But they never manned up to even say nothing to me in any kind of way, or even to Brother Josh Turner. But then after the conference, You know, they were plotting against him during the conference and after the conference. You know, but
Happy to meet you, Gary.
he's Scorpion from PRT. They just don't understand. Larry, how old is Larry? In his 60s already? Like 65? He's an old fella, man. And he's trying to mess with the. I mean,
With the
I ain't
young
saying
lion.
the young, but yeah, young lions, man. Like brother Josh is younger than me. Trying to mess with young a younger generation when they're all. I mean, yeah, you can have a weapon or whatever, but you ain't gonna have the weapon on you all the time.
Yeah, pero ya un viejito de esos con cualquier putazo que le des se cae and break a hip y ya te hizo el pedo, güey.
You know, one time and take him to the nursery home. I find him on the side of the street. I don't know what his name is. Yeah, he's a old fella, and you got old perverted fella. Then the other guys are freaking on drugs and shit.
Who was
Just
the
for
one that
the
was hitting on Morgan?
huh?
Who was the one that was hitting on Morgan?
Let me see.
Was it Dirty Larry?
I don't know which Morgan. I think
The
it was
one that
I don't know
was
if
it
the same
Morgan?
Morgan that's here or not. But it was a Morgan. That were the conference too busy trying to act out normal and manipulate listeners. The
It was
wolves
Morgan.
were, you know, yeah, brother Josh. We miss y'all's doing y'all show, man. I'm trying my best, man, to hang in there. Try to continue to do this. My lives here. No, they targeted me on YouTube where I couldn't do lives with a guest anymore. So I said, well, let's do it off StreamYard. So I've been doing it off of StreamYard. Uh, Mike the Chester or Corn the Cobb, he come in here crying, talking about for me to do what, cousin?
Unfreeze his account.
To unfreeze his account and all this crap. But I think he was just
Not
lying
Madeline Morgan.
because his account is still working. Uh, I'm thinking he's the one that targeted me. That's why I couldn't add a guest no more. But we don't allow him here. I booted him out, so we won't be able to come in here and troll anymore. So it's gonna be kind of like troll free here. We have no trolls. You know, all the people that are coming up against me on the regular YouTube are not popping in here no more. You know,
Wow. All three of them were after Madeline Chap. Wow.
yeah, they were all perverts, man. Well, there was like four of them. It was Larry. I don't know about Bart. Yeah, Barton even too. Disrespecter, Cluffington, and Hector. The guy there was a guy named Hector saying he had cancer. Whether he had cancer or not, I don't know. He was talking bad about me because I told him that he had a generational curse, and he was true because he said what he worshipped, what he was doing.
You go, Rich Runner. You go, boy.
Roadrunner is ex-military.
You won't be boots on the ground, Runner. You'll be boots up his ass.
Yeah, this guy thinks that everybody's afraid of him because what they want us to do is to go to their location so they can get us in trouble. I'm just waiting for them to do something stupid and come to my house. That's what I'm waiting for. Come
I'm
over
just a
here,
phone call away, cousin. I'm just a phone call
disrespectful.
away. Sorry to hear
Chrissy,
that, Christy. Sorry to hear that. Condolences going your way.
I'm sure it's family. I lost my daughter and husband and brother. No, not where I'm at because I'm living in a whole different area from what my hometown is, and what I captured on the short reel is not family.
Yeah,
Yes,
Ridge
Sister
Runner.
Christy, there's a lot of activity. It's been picking it up after that eclipse happened. I noticed a lot of activity picking up after the eclipse that we had.
You're right, Diablo. You're right.
That's right. He's right, 100%. Diablo.
Gotta handle that business, brother.
So you're spiritually blessed, Christy, with a spiritual gifts of discernment that you're able to see and hear the disembodied spirits or disembodied voices that are around you. She's saying interdimensional beings. Big big fan of FAFO.
Fuck around and find out.
Like, is that a real term? And
Yeah, it is.
find out.
I believe in that. Come over here and get some fafu.
Christy Vengros said, I've been having vivid dreams. I guess somebody got cold feet, cousin Jesse. She didn't show up tonight.
Oh, it's all right, man. I knew it was all just talk, bro. That's what, like I told her, I'm just being me.
Yeah, we just playing around.
Cousin, I'm gonna cry. You know why? I lost my computer love. Computer love.
So I got so many things happening in my life, man. I have well, these other guys, they're not really trolling me anymore because I'm doing it through StreamYard. Uh, but they're like in the back burner, but my guard's always up against them just in case it surface up. I go try to do a little investigation and I get freaking bombarded by these unseen forces that are around. The DDN, or you want to call them chasers, just whatever you want to call them, they surface up. Then I got the VA,
Yes, Morgan.
the VA trying to take my ass out. So it's like I don't trust them. So just dealing with a lot of things, and I'm trying to stay as active as possible. Lifting weights. I couldn't do the cardio because my feet bruised up from the bottom for some reason. So I need to implement my cardio again to try to get everything what I was doing back on the good path. But that's life. It's always been like
Prima,
that for me. If it's
Prima
not one
Ivy.
thing, it's another thing and
I'm
another
so
thing.
upset I can barely drink this water.
Any fish in the sea. She said maybe Diablo said maybe the simulation is glitching or internet. Uh, yeah, simulation is glitching. Well, I captured a glitch on my phone. I'll place a picture tomorrow. I have found what seemed to be a rod in the ground on the trail. He was stuck in the ground and he had like two rocks around it, right? But when it glitched, I could see the rod in the sky. So I don't know how that could happen. Where the rod was in the ground and it glitched and I could see the rod in the sky. That one kind of like freaked me out when I seen it on my phone when I was doing the live. You could see the rod in the sky.
I
And
remember that, Morgan. He was crying to Primo Abe, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Primo Abe was like, get on your knees, come back.
I really, yeah, I always catch a lot of
That's
activity.
cool, Christy.
If I do go back, it's gonna be when the sun is out. The reason I like when the sun is out is because look, when there's like clouds, like thunder clouds or anything with energy, you're gonna hear a lot of disembodied voices. You might not see the things that are around you, but when there's sun, you still hear disembodied voices, and the ultraviolet ray of the sun breaks the cloak of
Hi,
the
Liz.
DPN or the Skinwalker shapeshifters, and you could see them within the wool line or sometimes outside the wool line where they're really at because it breaks their spiritual cloak.
Ya llegó, primo, ya llegó. Mírala, ahí está, ahí está.
Oh, there she is. She's in hermit mode, listening. Best be hiding my senses of learning. Abe and Jesse.
Hi.
She said, I've been seeing colorful patterns and love and energy. It's over the top. I believe I'm a healer. I've been growing mushrooms for medical purpose due to disease and was born with it. I knew somebody that was doing mushrooms yesterday or 2 days ago and he couldn't come on the live with me. Brother Joe Breezy. He said he was testing some mushrooms and he said he couldn't join me because he was seeing many colors. But
I said hi, Olivia.
oh my God, I was seeing flashing orbs with
Oh,
some rock.
really, Morgan? Specifically me? Really? Okay, I'll fess up to
We missed you, especially Jesse Ella.
it.
They are to be respected. Yeah, man. Talking about orbs, I've seen some crazy stuff. When I used to live in Elms Grove, I kept a lot from a lot of people. I wasn't telling nobody what I was going through, family, But the only one that really knew something that was going on was my sister that lived with me. But besides that, I wouldn't tell nobody else in the family because I didn't want nothing to happen to anybody. I felt that what I was dealing with, I had to go through it myself, but I didn't want to endanger any family. Brother Diablo says they are talking openly about otherworldly beings, so now they can play a lot looser with the secret technology they've been developing for decades. Yes, the technology they supposedly used over there in Florida. Uh, what is it called? What is the technology called? Where it's like they show something, but it's not really there. Uh,
Hologram?
it's
A
something like a
hologram.
holo, but it's like a certain government word that they're some kind of technology that they're gonna be making holograms like that so people could think it's something else. It's kind of like the AI, yeah, like AI, but it's dealing with holograms and you know satellite, the like the 5G towers that affects a lot of things around the 5G itself can cause that kind of things also where if you sleep with your phone nearby you it can affect you. So best you take your phone away from you. You look at it for too many hours, it can affect you. Morgan. If y'all remember correctly, when they did the 5G towers was when everybody was in lockdown with the COVID, where they was telling people not to go anywhere. That's when all the 5G towers got set up, literally like around the world. When the COVID was at its supposedly starting, that they literally had everybody in lockdown, saying you couldn't leave your home and stuff like that. That's when they set up the 5G towers.
They also put up those purple street lights also, man.
Yeah, purple street lights. It says Christy Van Gogh said, "I have a real deal here. They may look different. Humanoids doesn't mean that they're bad. I don't know about humanoids. Place them to the spiritual test, Sister Christy. When you do see them, see what they do. I always put them to the spiritual test. I'll say identify yourself, or if it gets overwhelming, where I'm hearing a different dialect or growling sounds or different noises, then I go into prayer. Either I say the deliverance prayer or I say I tie bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. And if they disappear, they're not humanoids. They're demonic in nature, the DDN or spirits when they disappear. They said, "What are the purple lights for?"
Supposedly, the people that took the jab has something to do with controlling their DNA with those lights. Supposedly they said, and this is what they just say, that with those lights they'll be able to turn all the people that took the jab into zombies.
Like zombies.
That's what I heard.
Well, I never took no COVID shot, so I'm good.
I took two. That was it. I didn't want no more.
You took them?
I took two, and that's when I developed the clot in my artery, man. After I took that, didn't have
Yeah,
no issues before.
I didn't take no COVID shot. Yeah, you're more than welcome to share it in my group, uh, Sister Christy. I got a spiritual encrypted encounters on Facebook.
Yes,
If you
Al
got
Gore.
Facebook,
But
you're
I'm
more
still
welcome
I'm still here.
to to join that group. Also, I have a lot of pictures there. I have a picture of a fairy also.
You know what's messed up, Al Gore? I took the two jabs and still got the damn COVID, man. But it only had me down for a week.
Let me see if I can find your name if you got Facebook. Christy.
So how was your day, Liz? Did you have a good day? Was it blessed? Was it full of blessings? Uh, I was living, taking care of my mom and my dad, and I didn't want to give them anything like that because I was always out in the street working.
So you're in my group, Spiritual and Crypto Encounters, on Facebook. Let me add you. Let me see.
But like I said, it didn't stop me from getting the COVID. It just messed up my carotid artery. Now it's like 90 something 40 or 50% blocked. Well,
There's a
I'm
Garrett
glad it was
Love
full
there.
of blessings. Get your rest, Liz. Get your rest. Cousin, we are 8 minutes into the demonic hour.
So let's share a story of this time frame. You got a story to share?
No, Ivy,
Something
I
that
would
happened in
not
this
take
time
an hour.
frame.
Huh?
Let me see. I see your face and everything. I did join. Okay. Yeah, my group is called Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Christy, you if you join in there, you're already in there. You're more welcome to post a picture in there if you like. You can place a picture. Uh, say, what's within the picture. Yes, but feel so tired, so I'm resting. You take another jab, Jesse. Will you take another jab?
No, I'm also blood type O, Navia.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to share any picture that you want there, videos, whatever you want. I used to do my lives there, but I moved to YouTube. But uh, when you're trying to do something, you always get targeted. Just like the PRT, uh, Brother Josh Turner got targeted by a lot of people. Now, I've been being targeted for a long time myself, but sometimes I just ignore it and move on forward.
I'm pretty sure he's heard it, Morgan. I'm pretty sure he requested me to tell it, and I told it. Positive, Angel.
Yes, that's right, Christy. They are everywhere. The day of the eclipse, I walked into my house. I didn't even get to see the eclipse. I had I was asleep, because I was doing nighttime videos. I had the 3D glasses. By the time I went out there, the eclipse was already gone. So I came back inside my house and put up the 3D glasses. When I went into my kitchen, I seen a dark shadow figure, darker than black, standing right by my sink, and it was looking at me. I was looking at it, and I told you, "You're not welcome in my house. Leave." And he took off real fast. But it was literally standing in the middle of my kitchen right after the eclipse. So
Yes,
certain things
exuberance.
happen where there's this spirits could manifest even greater. Like you could literally see them almost human like. But
On my dad's side and my mom's side are exuberance. They're both Native American blood.
so Diablo says I use those. Yes, always that. But that's good that you have light being sister, because what I run into is it's not good. I mean, I've seen angels around me that's protecting me from certain areas when they come and make their presence, but I catch a lot of uh, dark spirits or shadows. Right? I can call them humanoids because they're not. They're spirits. Whether they're unclean spirits, demonic spirits, DDN spirits, Shepherds Skinwalker spirits. When they're dark, it's part of the yin and the yang. What are they representing if they're dark? Right? What would be the thing that they're representing if they're dark beings, which
Yes,
would be
evil beings,
evil
demonic.
beings, darkness. She said, I've burned sage by my door to protect my house. Yes, I believe the property is protected by a higher force. Yes, it's always good to protect your home, uh, your foundation too. When you go to investigate, make sure you're spiritual ready to go to investigation, because you can have no spiritual openings. You have spiritual openings, they can attack. You got hatred, anger, which I forgive people daily. That's why I don't try to focus on people that come up against me in a negative way. I just leave it up to God, you know, because when you go investigate, you can have those openings, or you'll get attacked by what's out there. Me, because I've been dealing with it for a very long time, since I was a kid, all the way up to now. You got to protect your love foundation, your heart, your foundation. That's what they want. What people don't understand is it's about our spirits. That's what they want. The ones that want this, they wasn't created by God, so they don't want nobody to make it into the kingdom of heaven. If they can interrupt somebody, corrupt somebody, or uh, make them go on the wrong path in life, that's what they're going to do. Because I'm talking about the disembodied demonic Nephilim. They try to destroy all of mankind or all of God's creations back in the day. That's why the flood happened. But they're still amongst us in spirit form, but as demons. That's why I call them the DDN. They're run chaos and havoc. Uh,
That's interesting, Diablo. Hey, cousin. Hey,
yeah.
Prima Ivy got a question.
Yes.
How
Okay.
do those angels look like that protected you?
The ones that were around me when I was a kid, when I was in when that the bruja appeared. Well, she challenged me spiritually, asked me for my name. She knew my parents' names, and she pulled out this amulet and was chanting something. The angels were standing behind me, had a golden aura around them, and some of they look human like. The angels look human like they had the manifestation of to be human like, but they had golden aura around them, had wings. They were taller than me, uh, and she seen them. There was a lot of them behind me, and she turned around and ran away, scared. She dropped her amulet, and it shattered on the ground. You know, it had chicken feet and all kinds of bones and feathers. It shattered on the ground and took off running, ran away from me, and that was the last time I ever seen her. That was like one of my junior high experiences of fighting spiritually. That I knew the heavenly angels were with me, and I know they're with me even now. It's just they're. I guess I've been growing spiritually strong enough to be able to overcome the things. I guess being tested spiritually through the Heavenly Father to be able to overcome the things that are coming my way. And there's many, but it's through Jesus Christ and the Love Foundation. That's the only way we can overcome the unseen forces. Christie's Combo said, I've seen Pegasus and gargoyles at my gate. Yes, too. Once you realize you have the power not to allow the darkness in, it's when it's a game changer. You keep them around by feeding it. But since doing mushrooms, I've been taught how to keep them away. It's a daily process. Well, me, I don't do. I mean, do any kind of drugs or anything. I know that that could be a spiritual opening. Honestly, that's why I don't drink anymore. I've been. I'll give you an example of this. I went out dancing with my wife. She likes to dance, Tejano dancing. I took her out, and I had barely taken her out to the dance floor. I hadn't even drunk a beer yet or nothing. Drunk nothing. So we were dancing. As soon as we started dancing, like took like a couple of slides to the dance floor. I seen this dark figure come and stand right by the edge of the dance floor, and it's looking at me. I'm looking at it. I have my protection around my neck, the black tourmaline and selenite. So I start praying within myself, and I'm not trying to, spin my wife so she can see what's behind us or behind her. So, I say, I type binary rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. When I said that, because, they can read your mind, it turned around and took off real fast out the front door. It was there for literally about a second and a couple of milliseconds. But just an example how they can surface up when you least expect it, and you have to be actually ready always because you don't know when they're going to surface up. Yeah, but the mushrooms they do cause their hallucinations. Some people make teas out of it. They drink it and be like the movie. What was a cowboy movie back in the day when he said, "I'm in the spirit world, asshole." Young Guns. You all right, cousin?
Yeah, I'm fine, man. I'm reading the chat. Ivy says alert. What's going on, Ivy? I don't know. I had a bad experience with mushrooms, man. I was seeing snakes. My mama had to drag me out from under the
The thing
bed.
with the dance floor system, Morgan, this happened this year. I always have crazy encounters. I wish I could have a camera like on me and just hit a button in my pocket so y'all can see the things that happened to me. It's like I had a I was at a dance and it was this lady that came up to me. She's trying to touch me, pretend to say hi, but she's dressed all in black and she's talking to my wife, and then I just touched her back. I say, "Hey, nice meeting you, nice seeing you again too." She was telling me how was I doing, like asking about my health. Normally, when witches are trying to do something bad to you, they're trying to find out how you're doing health wise because they're trying to see if what they attempted to do to you it was working or not. So what do I do? Is I ignore the small witches and go to the head witch because I already knew who the head witch was. Uh, she told me who she was a long time ago. So I go up to her, and it was her birthday. She was like 90 years old. She's dressed all in black. She's dancing on the dance floor, and I go dancing with her. So all this witches, I'm not making contact with her. I'm just out there dancing with her. All these witches just freaking out, just looking like, oh shit, he's dancing with a mera mera. So, and I told her, thank you for the dance, or whatever. I walked out. Then all these witches, they come up to me and they're like, oh, how do you know her? I didn't say nothing. So that was a very nice thing for you to do. They were like freaking out because I already knew what she was. And I've been living in Killeen to know who's who. So I mean, she told me what she was about a long time ago. So I've been knowing about her. But you know, all these other ones are that were under her. They're like freaked out that I knew her. So they kind of like backed off. Me, I give to me, everybody has a chance to change their ways. There's nobody's perfect in this world. My mission is to awaken everybody spiritually. Uh, I don't have nothing against nobody. Just people can change. Yeah, no fear. They freaked out because I was dancing with her. They were all freaked out. They all came up to me like freaking out because she's like the main one. They just didn't know that I knew her. Everybody get a chance. Everybody has a chance to change. I'm not to judge nobody. Everybody's lives their own path. Me, I'm just creating my spiritual cryptid encounters to share my wisdom and knowledge. I mean, my grandmother was a dark witch. I didn't know when I was growing up that she was a dark witch. That would explain a lot of the events that were happening around my home because she lived right next to us. The only way I found out about this was when I was in the back of the hearse. I was like in fifth grade or fourth. I can't remember. Possibly in junior high, sixth or seventh. And I was one of the pallbearers. And my older cousins are like 30 years older than me. They start singing this song, hi ho, the wicked witch is dead. And they all started laughing. And I was like, hey, why are you disrespecting grandma like that? Because she's in a coffin. And then my older cousins told my other cousin that's like a couple of years older than me, tell him, primito, tell him. He's like, my cousin, like, oh, cousin, she was a bruja negra, dark witch. I didn't know. I try to see the goodness out of people, man. I don't try to focus on the bad, but sometimes, Spiritually, now that I've grown spiritually, I'm able to see who's good and who's not good. It's just something that comes with the territory of growing up spiritually. Mushrooms do not take away free will. I'll share a story with y'all since we're talking about this disembodied voices and spirits that trigger your spiritual senses. Uh, there was a there was these kids the or my nephew's friends when we lived in Elms Grove, and I will tell them, do not go to that section where there's something evil, real evil there, and I was looking out for them because I didn't want nothing to happen to them. So their brother was in the war, in the Iraqi war. He had come back, and I guess they had told him, that I would tell him about what was going on over there. I was outside on my picnic table, and it was nighttime, like 2 in the morning, like say like 2:45, and he's yelling for me from up the street. He says, "Is your name Abe?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You're full of shit. You're a fucking liar." He's screaming. He's drunk. This guy's drunk, and he's saying all kinds of things to me. So he comes down the hill, stands right in front of me. He tells me that I'm a liar, that I'm full of shit, that I just scared his brothers, and this and that. That he's coming from war. And I said, "Look, man, I've been to combat. I know how you feel right now. You probably have what you've been through messing you with up here because of what you had to do, what you seen." So, but I was just looking out for your brothers. Like, nah, you're full of shit. You're a liar. I said, "Well, what do you want me to do, man, to prove you wrong that, that I'm not full of shit?" He said, "Take me to the location right now. I want to know where this location is." I said, "Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're drunk right now. So if I take you to the location, they're gonna attack you because you're freaking drunk. That's a spiritual opening." He's like, "Fuck that. I just came from war. I ain't afraid of what's out there." And he started cussing me out again. I said, "Okay, fine. Let's go." So I take him, I'm walking through all those empty lots towards the park. I get there near the swing set. And I said, "Look, I'm not going to go further than this. I'm going to stay right here." And he's like, "I want to show you how it's done. Uh, how we did it in Iraq." Iraq. He's drunk, right? When he says that, you hear a woman laughing from the woods. We're talking about disembodied voices, right? Spirits. A woman's laughing out of the woods, and it looks, "I hear you." Then he looks at me and he says, "You probably set this up." I said, "Bro, how can I freaking set it up? I'm telling you, I didn't want to bring you here, and you made me come over here with you. I'll tell you there's something there." And then he laughed again, right? He took off his shirt. He's drunk. He took off his pants and he's in his boxers. He raises his hands. His eyes. "I'm going in. I'm not afraid of you." He starts walking to the edge of the wool line. He's by the edge of the wool line. And then he starts screaming like, "Ah, ah, 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 ah." He's screaming. When he turns around, he's bleeding from every pressure point. He's bleeding from the jugular, from the hair, from the wrists, from the ankles, from behind the knees. He's bleeding everywhere. He runs, grabs his shit, and takes up running barefooted. He's running barefooted with his clothes in his hands. Then I stand up and do the sign of the cross, and I say, "A tie binary rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. Leave him alone." That's what I said to whatever is there. 2 weeks pass by, and I hear nothing from this guy. He knocks on my door. I open the door. He's sober this time. He say, "Hey, I really want to apologize to you. I know now that you were looking out for my brothers. I see how evil what's there." I said, "Why do you say how evil it is?" So, well, all the areas that I was bleeding, whatever there is evil, because those areas where I was bleeding when I was out there in combat, I cut myself in those areas. I was trying to take my life. So whatever was there knew that I tried to take my life numerous times. And he made me bleed from that area to remind me of what I tried to do to myself. And he said that he was going to be living in the park, that he was moving to a different area, and he just came to apologize to me. And that was the last time I seen him. And I tried to warn him, man. I didn't want to. I honestly didn't want to take him into that area because I already knew what was going. I knew how they are there. I know. I was battling those demonic forces there. I know what they're capable of doing. I mean, shit. They shoved me off a cliff, punched me in the back. When I was fighting spiritually, somebody that's drunk or, if somebody's on drugs, they're freaking destroyed. Luckily, I was there to pray for him, to tell him to leave him alone. There's Sister Madeline. You're welcome, Devil's Angel. All I'm saying that when you have something in your system that's not supposed to be in there, that's a spiritual opening. They can use that to attack. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Depends what you're dealing with. I took him to the area where the Skinwalker shapeshifter supposedly existed. He called himself uh, Lycanthrope. This is what he resided there. There's you should have heard the laugh, the wicked laugh of that woman that was in there in them woods. It sounded wicked. It's like they were laughing at him because they already knew what they were going to do. As soon as he walked towards the wood, it didn't even make it into the woods. He was on the edge of the tree line and he got attacked. Imagine if we would have gone into the woods.
Cousin, I'm gonna call it, man. I'm gonna fall
All
asleep.
right, cousin. Thank you, cousin, for
Bye to
tuning in.
everybody in the chat. Have a good night. May the Lord bless you and keep you safe. And have a day full of blessings in the morning.
All right, cousin. I'll continue the live for a little bit longer. Thank you, cousin, for joining.
Anytime, cousin. I'm sorry I can't last as long as you do, man, but I try to keep up.
All right, cousin.
Hey,
Say
Primo,
good night to you.
Primo.
Buenas noches.
Hey, I was just waiting for Liz to get here so I could go to bed.
What happened to her? She's not here no more.
He's still in here. All right, bye everybody.
Here she is. Good night, Jesse. Likewise. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they be hitting them around 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, we're talking about disembodied words and spirits, man. You just got to be careful. Follow your gut instinct. Me, every time I was like, it's kind of like I was had day watch and night watch when I lived in the park because of the kids that played in the park. My son had gotten lured, and I didn't want nobody else to get lured or tricked in that way. In which there was other events that happened where people would say, or the kids, teenager would say that they would see a man in black calling them into the woods. So it's kind of, I always kept people away from the side of the park, even though there wasn't my children. I always kept an eye on people, man. That's why I do this works. At the white statue in front of the Alamo, it's one of the only statues that has a ghost on it, and the right side is a ghost rising from the burning bodies pile. Diablo says my mom's a Jehovah's Witness. My uh, mother-in-law is a Jehovah's Witness. There's a lot of locations here in Texas that are haunted, especially where there was native Indian burial grounds. A lot of locations, especially like on Fort Hood, on the where we go train. All that used to be native Indian, native land, and there's a range in between uh, Pilot Knob and Clabber Creek that has MP's garden at 24 hours because that mountain range is all native Indian burial ground. So since it's native Indian burial ground, we've seen a lot of things out there. When you talk about Bigfoots that have been spotted out there, you talk about werewolves or lycanthropes that have been spotted out there, shapeshifters, skinwalkers has been spotted out there, and dark shadow spirits have been spotted out there. Many soldiers have encounters out there when they're pulling guard or they're doing maneuvers. Uh, I used to see them all the time. I just wouldn't tell my crew what I was seeing, because it's been with me. Uh, I wouldn't let them know what I would see because I didn't want to scare them because I knew that if they got scared, that's a spiritual opening. So I would just keep it to myself. What I would do is pray for my crew around the tank so the things that I was seeing wouldn't get near the tank. Let me see the comments here. There are tons of hot spots. Oh yeah, there's a lot of hot spots everywhere. Who's going to Diablo? Who not Diablo? Thank you for tuning in, brother. I'm gonna go for another 30 minutes and then call it a night. Uh, when I was in Germany, I had an experience with. I think I shared it. Y'all heard this story. I know whoever's been here, but it's an experience that I'll never forget. When I was 19 years old, and it's dealing with a gypsy witch or a witch. That's good, Diablo, that you got out of that, man. It was the experience that I had in Germany when I was 19 years old. That was my first duty station was Germany. I was at this little bar called B15s, and I was talking with this beautiful German uh, young female, like around my age. I was 19. She had to be around my age, the same age, and we're drinking beers and we're just talking. And while we were talking, she was telling me that she was a gypsy. That she was telling me that a werewolf does exist in the gypsy culture. That she witnessed it, and she was just telling me about that she would see them, this werewolves, lycanthropes. So we're just talking and drinking, drinking all night. So then the bar closes like 2 in the morning. So we start walking, and then she's walking with her bike, and we're just talking. We're having a good conversation. We're talking, and I still have like half ways to make it to the village. She gets to her house because I'm walking with her, and she tells me that I could stay at her house uh, to sleep on the couch, you know, so like that I don't have to walk all the way to the village. So she was giving me her hospitality. I had the German beer strong, so it really hits you real. It's got a lot of yeast, so that beer's strong, right? So I'm buzzing. So I go in there and I see the couch. She opens the door. It's a kitchen and there's a couch. There's a kitchen and like a living room together, and then I just go lay down on the couch. I lay on the couch, and she goes into the room. The customs in Germany are different. Then next thing you know, she comes out of the room, and she tells me that if I want to, I can sleep in the bed with her, and she's literally has no clothes on, no clothes. So I'm feeling the beer, I'm buzzing. So I say okay, So I go there and I just leave my clothes on because I was buzzing, and she's laying in the bed naked, and the customs over there, they're more open, free that way to be that way. So I lay down beside her, and I go to sleep. Uh, I get woken up by a thud sound. I'm hearing thud, like a thud. Something's pounding on something. When I look and wake up from the pounding sound, uh, I look and there's somebody blocking the door of the bedroom and the kitchen living room. They're sitting Indian style. They're pounding with a big old piece of glass that they broke from one of those stand-up mirrors. They're pounding the ground, and I could see something dripping, hitting the ground, which is blood. And I'm looking, then I see like white hair of an old lady. See the eyes roll back white, and I see foam coming out of the mouth of this person, like rabbit foam. So I get up real slowly, and I'm looking, trying to figure out what happened to the girl, that was there. I'm looking, I don't see her nowhere. So I just see this old lady blocking the doorway, sitting Indian style, naked. So I go around her. So I'm going around her real slowly. It's like she was stabbing. She just stopped stabbing and just stuck like this. And I was like, oh shit, like she stopped stabbing the ground. So I go around her real slowly and I walk backwards to keep an eye on her, make sure she don't get up and run at me with a damn piece of glass, sharp glass. I go to the dang door and it's got like chains and bolt locks, like 7 or 8 of them. So I'm trying to unlock, and she's still sitting there. And I open the freaking door and I take off running. I leave the door open, and I'm running. I'm hauling ass. That Usain Bolt, Bo Jackson, OJ Simpson, OJ Simpson don't have nothing against me that night because I'm flying. I'm running, and I'm just freaked out of what I just witnessed, right? So I'm running, and I feel something like if something is behind me. So I turn around to make sure there's nothing. The old lady's not flying in the air, trying to get me from behind, So I run all the way to the billets. I sobered up that fast. I ran towards the village, didn't even go through the main gate. I jumped, it's like a 12 foot, 13-foot high fence, and close to my billets, and I ran into the billets, and I went to sleep. I was like freaked out. It's like 2 weeks later, we're at a Strawberry Fest and we're partying. The mugs are big like this. We're drinking the night away. Then after we drank the night away, my friends were walking down the steps, and they say, "Hey, have you ever heard of the Erlangen witch? Strawberry? They call her the Strawberry Fest witch." It's like, no, I never heard of it. Well, they say that she appears during the fest. That she always lures young guys. That she looks like a young girl, but she's really a witch. So when we were walking down the stairs, there was a statue. So look, here's a statue of the Strawberry Fest witch. And when I looked at the statue, it was the old lady that I seen, the witch, how she looked. It was her. So basically, what I'm saying is that that witch still exists over there. That she has a capability to man I don't know, maybe it was something she was wearing or perfume, but whatever she did, she tricked the hell out of me. She went from a beautiful woman to an old hag. And till this day, never forget this. Yeah, well, I didn't have bad intentions. I wasn't thinking of like doing anything with her. I just somebody's giving you hospitality. It's like, okay, I'll sleep on your couch, and then she offered to sleep in the bed. Yeah, she maybe. Then I said, well, I was like, well, maybe she's mad because I didn't do nothing with her. But no, that girl, I don't know what happened to her. All I know is I seen an old lady. Her eyes were back white, and foam is coming out of her freaking mouth like she's rabid, like she's fixing to use that the piece of glass on me. I got away. That's all I know. I believe that the spirit of my mother was protecting me. The spirit of my mother was around to fight the witch spiritually, and I believe it was the spirit of my mother that made her show her true identity to me. So to get go uh, go out of danger into safety. Eating alone the best to people to watch to. But you know what freaked me out about that? That we were partying from 10 to 2 in the morning. That's 4 hours, right? 4 hours, from 10 to 4. We walked for a good distance. I think it was like 2 miles, which was the halfway point. That she was manifested to look like this young female, and then she changed form. But she hold the manifestation of a young female for a very long time. Yes. After that incident, it's like I'm not messing with no German women in any kind of way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter how they look or what they're trying to do. I am not putting myself in a situation like that again. I wish I did a good job after that. Yes. Not saying that all German women are bad, because I have friends that were Germans, and that's what they were, my friends. You know, just put it this way: I respected them, and I never tried to do nothing with them in any kind of way, shape, or form. That when I was leaving back to the States, both of them asked me this. They were sisters. They're like, "Hey, we'd like to ask you a question." I said, "Before you go back to the States." So what are you trying to ask me? And they're like, "How come you never tried to do anything with us?" That's what they told me. And I said, "Because I consider as friends and I respected y'all. Well, we're just trying to figure out things because we're just trying to find out you're gay or something because you never attempted to do anything with us." And I said, they were in the car with me. They were driving me to the airport. And I was like, "Well, shit, we can pull over to the side of the road. If you want to find out if I'm gay or not." Then we just started laughing. But we just remained as friends, uh, because of the freaking witch, Strawberry Fest witch. I never seen. I didn't know what to trust there no more after I encountered that witch. The Frau, I was afraid of the Fraulines. They'll be, Guten Morgen, Schatzi. The Fraulines. There's different nationalities, like any culture. And the my German friend's name was one of his name is Gabriela, and the other one, her sister, half sister, was named Rosa. And it's like I didn't have to pay for nothing, man. I was like their chaperone. They own a big old apartment complex with a bar underneath it. So they would take me. They come in their BMWs. They had money to pick me up, and they take me out to a bar hopping. They take me to places, everywhere. They take me everywhere bar hopping with them. I was a chaperone. The way I met them is some GIs were disrespecting them, and they were trying to, it looked like they wanted to get physical with them. And I stepped up and I told them to leave them alone and all this, and stood up for them. And they remained my friends after that. You know, Rosa was married, and Gabrielle wasn't married. But after that, they were like good friends with me. They were way older than me. Rosa was like 20, 26, 27, and Gabby was like 38 when I was only 19 years old. Uh, they invited me for Thanksgiving to their home. I think they had like a duck, or not duck, I don't know. It wasn't a turkey. It was big, man, like a geese. Man, they gave me this plate of food that had so much food on it. Like, whoa. And I'm looking at them like, how do you expect me to eat all this? There's a lot of food. You would have had fun over there, Diablo. I would have. I knew a lot of Fraulines in Erlangen. They had a lot of friends, man. You would have been there. You would have had a lot of fun. Yeah, Erlangen, Germany. That's all I was at. That was my first duty station. I was going overseas. That's where I went from there to Operation Desert Storm. But yeah, the little bit of time I was there, I had fun. In spite of the encounters that I had, which I've had several encounters that were freaked out. Bratwurst, uh, schnitzel, yaga schnitzel, sugar schnitzel, calamari. They even have there was this restaurant called Zorba's, Guidos gyro, real lamb meat, and many other kinds of foods from the guest houses. The guest houses will stay open. They didn't have breakfast, but they would still sell. You could still order a beer at the guest house after two. I think the breakfast that we have around that time frame will be like noodles, some kind of noodles that they will make for whoever wanted to eat. I knew the numbers, like eins selben Weisse bitte. I didn't even have to know how to speak, man. I was partying with this old man. He had a little hat and a nice jacket. We were drinking beers, me and this old man. It was a fest, a strawberry fest. We're drinking beers and we're dancing on the picnic tables. And the picnic table caved in, and all the beer spilled all over all of us. And we're just laughing our ass off, right? This old man, it went, he whistled and went, he said, he brought up a round for everybody. He had money. And I started partying with that old man. We partied all night long, me and that old man. I didn't understand what he was saying, but we're singing the song. I'm trusting. We're just drinking the night away. Big old mugs. Yeah, have fun. When you're drunk, at least you're having fun. You know. I was recording with a video camcorder, and I think I got a picture. I might post it one day. It's me recording with a camera, and it was one of those ladies that took a picture of me. The lens is still on the sucker, and I'm trying to record, and it's on, and I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing. It's because I got the lens at the end of the camcorder. Some good times. And the Germans, they can drink, man. They have a bar just about in every block. But bars, guest houses. They got pizzerias. They cook the old fashioned way, like with the fire and the wood. Calzone pizzas are good. Uh, just a way different way of cooking over there and eating. Is just pretty good food. Pomfrits, pomfrits. It had came like in a cone with French fries, and you had mayo and ketchup. The pomfrits, and on top you had white cheese. Uh, Pomfrits. Yeah, I would go to this little restaurant like around 11:30 at night before it closed. They already knew me. I could be drinking at B15s, and I'll go. The restaurant was like half a block away. I'll go there with the waiter. Always had sit me down on the same chair. I will order a be eins gyros pita, one gyros pita. They have the tortilla, the pita tortilla like this, real thick. It had like a leaf on it. It had some homemade sauce, and you could see the lamb. And they cut pieces of the lamb and they put it on there. It was huge. When I went out there, the the mark wasn't that expensive. It was cheap. The dollar was worth more than the mark. So I had a blast when I was over there. At times I would eat two of them just to sober up. The reason I would eat to sober up because I knew that I had to look out for the other soldiers that were out there partying with me, my friends, just in case there was a fight, or if I had to pick them up, put them on my shoulder, throw them in a cab, and send them back to the billets. I would do that. I was always looking out for them. That's why I would go to the restaurant and sober up. I was celebrating on a toss to around and kicking a balloon tied up a the dance floor. We closed. The still flew to one. Oh man. Oh man. That's crazy, Diablo. I was one of one of one of the soldiers had bought one of those Schwann bikes, those German bikes, and we had finished coming out of the bar, and he was driving the bike, and he was going in between the poles, and he was going wee, and he ran into a pole. In between the poles, there was a chain, a cadena, a chain. Fucking hit that, flipped over. Oh man, he was fucked up, dude. He had to get stitches. He had a cut all the way down his nose, the side of his mouth, all the way down his shin. You know, we're trying to stop the bleeding, and the first song was pissed off. Because it was a new soldier, and he was like, I think might have been like 17 or 18 years old, and he was pissed off. But he didn't rat out anybody. And he just said it was his fault. He was riding the bike, and that it hit this chain. But yeah, he hit hard on his face. He was a pretty boy. From California. Like freaking. He kind of remind me of the guy that played uh the new Star Wars, the one that became Vader, the young guy. That's the way he looked, like that guy. He was from California. He's on my friends list. And saying that, brothers and sisters, we're at 4:02 in the morning right now. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, it's been pretty peaceful without trolls through StreamYard, which I don't mind doing the videos here, even though I don't get a lot of viewership, because they don't spread it a certain way, but that's fine. I'd rather be troll free than be messing with them other fools trying to come and disturb what we're speaking about. Yeah, it's 4:03 here in Texas right now. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, Anakin, that's him. When he was younger, he looked like Anakin. His last name was Kulagi. He was from California. But that's what he looked like Anakin. when he was younger. That's why I said pretty boy, because he went from looking like Anakin to Scarface because he had the stitches uh, down his nose, on his lips, down. So he became Scarface after that. I think you can still see the scar on his face. Yeah, he was bleeding everywhere. Almost your bedtime. When saying that, brother and sisters, I don't want to keep anybody later than what they're supposed to be. I just want to say, yeah, he's on my friends list on Facebook. Or you have a six, brother Diablo. That's cool. Yeah, he's on my friends list. You can see that he's older now, but I think I got a picture of when he was younger. That he kind of looks like Anakin when we were drinking. Then I had a friend that kind of resembled Tom Cruise also when I was in the military. My loader, he was related to John Wayne, believe it or not. He was his great great grandfather. And in saying that, I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in. I hope y'all like the show. Thank you for continuing to support Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Uh, you know, we try our best to put on a show here for whoever comes into the lobby. Just thank you all for coming in here, chit chatting with one another, being respectful. That's how it's supposed to be. Where we can do our thing and people can chat and be respectful with one another. That's a good environment. That's the kind of environment that people want to come and tune into. Oh, it wasn't Miklo Neva's angel. He was a white guy. It was when I was in the army. All the German females were going after him because they say he looked like Tom Cruise. So he was having all kinds of fun over there in Germany. Just put it that way. Prayers to you, Sister Ivy. Uh, for the Heavenly Father to continue to protect you and guide your spirit spiritually. If there's anything negative around you, we tie, bind, and rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name. Uh, for it to flee, to leave you alone. This I pray in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Gracias a todos. Good night, Sister Liz Delgado. I think cousin Jesse might be dreaming about you right now. I don't know. Cyber dreams. I'm just playing. Thank y'all. God bless y'all. Thank you, brother. Hey, I used to do a lot of night shift in the military, man. That's why I'm awake at nighttime. I sleep during the day. Yeah, Sister Doris, or maybe something else right now. Uh, Maybe, I don't know. Que Dios los bendiga a todos. Gracias. Gracias, amigos. Paz para todos. Peace to everybody. Sister Morgan said, wow. Uh, I don't know. Well, he was getting tired. You could tell he was getting tired. In saying that, thank y'all. God bless y'all. Peace, everybody.